I'm doing this one.
Yeah!
And it will be a banger, and if it's not a banger, then I will reject reality.
It's actually kind of funny and endearing in a way, seeing how bad he is.
Hang on.
You almost think he's like faking it, but no, he just is that bad.
You are fucking animals.
This is the nail in the coffin!
The final nail.
You two were celebrated in the DMs.
We're starting a new genre of human.
Whoa, be very careful what you're about to say here.
Don't worry, I'll remove it from the episode. We can do it again later.
Oh, that explains everything! That explains everything! Oh my god.
You were slurring like crazy.
Stop it! Stop him!
See, he presents himself as like this alpha Chad.
You cut me off again! Stop!
I'm sorry.
Who gives a shit?
It's not that big of a deal, I guess, in the grand scheme of things.
It really isn't, yeah.
I don't know what I should replace this with. I don't know what I should replace this with. I don't know what I should replace this with. There's a slight delay, so I'll do it after 3. You two do it on 3, and I'll count us down, and then we all say something so I can sync it all up to that moment.
Gotcha.
Okay? Okay. On 3 for you two. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
And now it's all synced
Snake,
up.
Sonic waited. He didn't go on 3.
No, on my screen,
It's
the moment
fine.
Snake said 3. The moment Snake said 3, I said Bazinga.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So maybe you have a delay on your side.
Bazinga.
But on my side, that was perfect on Snake.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because what it is, it's you're saying it's in line with my delayed thing on your end, and then Dawg is seeing your response delayed further, so it looks super delayed, but in reality, it should be all synced up.
Well, then
that's
good.
pretty cool.
Then all is well.
Yeah, that's some cool shit.
Welcome everybody to the trials and tribulations
Hey! What a lovely way to start. Can I just start off by saying, can we all give an applaud here for True Underdog here? Woo! Great job, True Underdog, because guys,
okay.
he edited
Oh,
the
look what I
last
do.
episode. He is such an MVP for us. But not only did he edit the last episode, because I watched the entire thing, and in my opinion, he didn't cut that much out. It was a 3 hour discussion that got cut to 2 hours, but unlike before where it gets down to 1 hour, I personally felt like the 2 hours was basically, for the most part, what we all talked about. Like, not that many important things got cut out. It's one of your best edited episodes, Dawg, is what I'm trying to say. I really appreciate that. Give an applaud for True Underdog, everybody. Woo! Yay!
It was not the best edited, but I still appreciate it. I went in hindsight after releasing it. I was like, oh, I forgot to do the green screen, and also I forgot to zoom in more when people were talking, but no one seemed to care. I assumed after like the 45-minute mark anyway, most people have a browser open and they're doing something else. They don't care if it zooms in when somebody's talking or not. So
for me, I zoom in when it's a funny moment. For the most part, it's like something really funny happens. Or
I do that a little bit too. Big laughs.
Yeah.
Especially whenever anyone laughs at my joke, I feel very vindicated. So I have to, zoom in to get even more validation.
And then I zoom in also on a second occasion, and this is kind of a cheat, when 2 people are talking at the same time. I will then zoom in first on True Underdog. He says his thing. Then like Snake will say his thing. But in reality, y'all both said it at the same time. But it'll make it look like you both didn't because I zoomed in on both of you, and then we continue the conversation. So that's another thing I do with the zoomed in effects.
Makes sense.
These are all handy tips and tricks that I'm going to utilize when I edit this episode because I'm doing this one.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to segue into.
So, if this episode is a complete fucking disaster, you know why.
I believe in you, Snake.
I don't.
Got this.
I don't. Not in the
I
slightest.
believe in Snake. You've got the touch. You've got the power.
If you need any tips before I leave to Japan in like 2 days from now, now will be the time. And yeah, that's the reason why I needed someone to help me out, because I was like, I'm leaving like Tuesday, like Wednesday 2 a.m., which is usually when I upload the videos or when I make sure everything is all ready and stuff like that. But that would be like, I need to make sure this 3 or 4 hour episode is like all finished editing, the thumbnail, the intro, the description, everything is all crystal clear while I am packing for my 2-week trip, basically. So that's why I was like, I think I need some help here. I think I do need someone to help me out here. So thankfully, the Force Snake is going to help with this episode. So thank you very much, Snake. Really appreciate that.
For the first time ever.
Yes.
Anytime we've had someone else editing it, it's always been Dawg because I'm lazy and I can't be asked. And I always have a convenient excuse lined up.
And it's also because I'm a doormat and I give in. I say I'm going to stand my ground and not do it. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and then I end up doing it.
He presents himself as like this alpha Chad on his channel, but in reality he's more of like a beta Chad. Like he's still Chad, but like not like the alpha he pretends to be.
Snake, you're giving the haters fire.
Like
like
that, yeah.
Calling him a beta chat.
The beta Chad is pretty funny, to be fair. We're starting a new genre of human. Okay, we had the Sigma male. Now we have the beta Chad.
What is really funny is, like, I think last episode Snake legit did have a reasoning to not edit the episode. He was like, I'm actually really busy with this one video. And that video came out. So now it's like, I need help again. And Snake's like, okay, I'm available.
I don't have an excuse anymore. I can't hide behind excuses.
No.
Exactly.
So I guess this leads into our first topic that we have here, which is, it's kind of died down now, but when it came out, people were talking about it left and right, which is the new DC fighting game that got announced, DCKO. Personally, what I found really interesting is when I saw this, I was like, oh shit! The Force Snake was really diehard on predicting the existence of DCKO. You made like videos talking about like the roster. You made like a whole talking about this is just it. This is the next DC game. It has to. This is the perfect setup for a fighting game, and voila, there it is. Like Snake, you got it correct. It's right there, and it's mobile.
Which was not clear in the original trailer. Like it just says, "Here's the game," and you're like, "Okay." You can kind of guess it's mobile just from the graphical style because it does look cheap. Isn't the word I want to use, but if I say cheap, you get the idea of what I'm trying to convey. Like it looks kind of budget, a bit like Invincible.
Budget, yeah.
It's leaning hard into an art style, yeah. I mean, if that came out on console, it would be a big flop. People would be like, "Oh my god, what is this?" So
many people are feeling like this feels like multiverses. Like this, even the in-game missions, like the layout, even that feels kind of like multiverses from what I've heard too. It's like this feels like the leftovers of multiverses. That's what I've heard. Some people would say that.
Hey, I mean, fair enough. Hey, multiverses still holds the record for like most people playing a fighting game doing a beta. So let's see if we can get those numbers again. Let's go.
It's not happening. But
probably not.
Depending on what they do with the voice acting, whether it's just grunts or if they actually have some actual dialogue, in theory they could have Kevin Conroy for Batman, just reusing existing work.
Oh, I guess.
Then we cross into that dicey territory.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not AI. It's literally taking his existing performance and going, look, it's Kevin Conroy. Like, look, we're sorry that the last game he appeared in was Suicide Squad. Look, here's a better game he can be in at the end. And here he is,
fair.
Kevin Conroy in all of his glory, and he's going to punch Superman yet again. You all love to see it.
Maybe a premium skin.
But also cut to the main like Batman voice actor alive right now, just looking at the screen and Hulk crying because he got his job taken away. He could have been the new Batman.
Actually, that would be really good if they did like a BTAS skin. And they, or Injustice or Arkham, and they're like, well, we're going to put his voice on that. That could be cool.
I suppose. The interesting thing about DCKO to us, I'm not sure how interested you guys are in the video game aspect about this, because it's like, 20 character roster. Is it? I think it's about 20 characters like on release, and like a new character per month. The current roster looks very. I don't want to use the word safe, but it does feel very like what I expected, like Marvel Tokon would have been if they made it like their own fighting game.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that one of the things I praise about the DCKO comic event, even though it ended up completely shit in the bed and not being as good as it could have been, is the roster of characters they chose weren't all the ones you'd expect. It's like, okay, we've got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, of course. Then here's the Flash, Jay Garrick, not Barry, not Wally, Jay. Then it's like, okay, here's Green Arrow, but it's Connor Hawke, not Oliver Queen. Green Lantern. You would think, okay, it's going to be Hal, or if not Hal, John, maybe Guy. No. No, sorry, it is Guy. Sorry, Kyle is one.
It is Guy, right?
It's not Kyle, it's Guy. Yes, Guy, of all people. And you're like, okay, that's a weird selection of characters, but I like it, because it's you have the slots you expect, but it's something a bit different in terms of the characters. That's really cool. As far as I can tell, this is kind of just doing what you would expect them to do. The default.
Where was this released, by the way, the confirmed characters? Where can I find this at?
I just sent it.
There's John as Green Lantern. I don't see Flash, so I guess we'll see about him.
I don't actually. A lot of characters here are overlaps from Injustice Gods Among Us. I have noticed that. Like almost everybody here except for John Constantine
and Katana, I think that is.
And Katana, yes. I was like, oh, the Katana's on the roster.
Yeah, everyone else
Katana.
has been in the Injustice games.
Yeah. Mostly
To
Injustice
be
2,
fair,
by the
Injustice
way.
games do cover pretty much all the important people between 1 and 2.
Yeah,
for the
I
most
want to
part,
say one thing
yes.
unfortunate too. Not only are these Injustice characters, but some of them have the same moves. I sadly noticed that Bane and
really?
Doomsday have the same attacks.
Oh.
Like 1 for 1. I was like, damn, they're just skins. Maybe they have a
But-
character trait that's different. Like maybe Doomsday like heals and like Bane can buff himself with Venom, but they both had the kick, elbow drop combo string, and then I saw that some characters like Superman and Batman had the same big kick, like a single kick animation. So they're sharing a lot of the animations between characters. It looks like Starfire seemed completely different, so that's nice.
So it's a bit like when I think it was Contest of Champions. Remember when Contest of Champions was coming out and people were noticing, hey, these moves that Miles is pulling off look a lot like stuff from Capcom's Marvel Fighters.
Straight up
There
Street
was
Fighter
a
Five
recent
Chun Li
DC
Super.
game that- there was a recent DC game that came out that had a bunch of other DC characters, and it's like a 3v3 turn-based shenanigans. That's also 3D. Maybe there's also some. Let me look it up here if I can see this one. But what I also wanted to talk about was also I thought that was just regular Robin, but then I saw you pull out the sword, and I was like, okay, there, Damian Robin it is then.
It's always Damien. Just forget anyone else. It's always going to be Damien for some reason.
I thought it was Tim too. But very interestingly, not NetherRealm Studios. This is developed by a company called Dropfake. And yeah, it's again not NetherRealm Studios. So like
Very
that was
unfortunate name.
Dropfake. Why?
It sounds like deepfake. Like when I first saw the name, I thought it was deepfake. I'm like, are they just admitting that they're like an AI? Oh, never mind. Drop fake. But I don't get drop fake either. It's just a weird name because drop is not a very positive connotation either. So like it's a drop and it's fake.
It's because they know Warner Bros. Are going to drop this game within 2 years.
Yeah, unless they get lucky like MK Mobile or something. But otherwise, yeah.
To be clear, I'm hoping it's a good game and that it's a huge success.
Me too. I do
not
like how we
sure.
already see multiple costumes in the first trailer. That's good. I'm hoping that each character, because it's a mobile game, so hopefully it's free, you know, and then it has a bunch of costumes
gotta
for
be
each
free,
character.
yeah.
That'll be fun. We can like Barbie doll our characters, you know, puts Zatanna in like 19 outfits.
I'm sure they do a line of Injustice comics as well, like costumes. Fuck. I'm sure that. Okay, unfortunately, I can edit around this. I can make myself look like less of an idiot by fixing my mistakes.
It's true.
That's the power of editing. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that power.
I'm sure they do a line of Injustice costumes. They'll be like, well, here's Injustice, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and like a couple of others. And they'll be like, oh, yo, I remember those games in the ideal world. I remember that. This is way better, though. So why would I want to remind you of the worst thing? Why would I want to dress actual Wonder Woman as Injustice Wonder Woman? Why would I do that? Who wants that?
Well, yeah, because I mean, the evil Amazon outfit from the first game is actually kind of cool. Where she has like the Trojan or like Centurion looking armor. That's kind of cool. But aside from that,
Because it doesn't look like Wonder Woman. That's why.
But where's the Fortnite skin for Poison Ivy? It's coming, right?
Oh yeah,
Fortnite.
that's true. You know what? Let's not talk about her. Like she one pumped me in my last Fortnite session, so I don't like her anymore. She just walked up and just killed me. I'm like, what the hell? I killed your Bugs Bunny friend. So what? Jeez. I'm not even joking, by the way. That's what really happened yesterday.
Oh, I love gaming terms. This woman one pumped me. Sounds so funny out of context. Go ahead.
There was a game that came out, like a trailer came out of this. It feels like a year. It was a year ago, and it was called like DC Worlds Collide, from what I recall. And in it had a bunch of DC characters. These are more cartoonish looking, but I almost feel like because you just talked about how there are some reused like abilities and models and whatnot. Maybe there's some like overlapping in here and stuff because it's another DC roster. This one's way more cartoony though in the art style department, but it already has like a lot more characters from. Actually, the game's been out for a year, so I'm sure. Wait, actually, has it been out?
I mean, I love the cinematic stuff. It looks fun.
5v5.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, this is a long time ago, though. But I don't know why I just...
Oh,
I
it's
just-
mobile again.
Yes, that's why. Exactly. And I think that's the really unfortunate thing.
But it
about
plays more
this.
like Raid Shadow Legends, the way they line
Yeah,
up. Okay. Yeah.
But I thought I'd just bring it up. because
Oh, the
it's also-
Frankenstein girl's there. The Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think this game's
yeah.
going to need to start putting out characters that haven't been in Injustice, like quite a lot of them early on, just to go, this is its own thing. Here's some characters you'd never seen in a fighting game before. We're obviously going to get Supergirl because, she's got her movie and whatnot. I mean, it bombed and whatnot,
Fair.
but brand synergy makes sense still. I'm sure Clayface will make it in around the time of his thing coming out.
Another Green Lantern, like to fit with the lanterns, I guess.
Yeah, then when the Superman movie comes out, we'll get something related to that, other than just the costumes.
Creature Commandos season 2.
Yeah, we need to have some stuff that's not been in Injustice ever. Maybe if it's in the mobile game, like, Peacemaker was in Injustice 2 mobile, that's fine. But you want to see some stuff that no one's seen before in a fighting game. And that's going to be one of the earliest things they need to do to really give this thing its own identity, separate from Injustice. I mean, of course, just looking at it, it's like, well, this has gone for a very modern/classic comic style. The characters look like the comic versions rather than these hideous abominations that Injustice always had. I'm sorry, the Injustice art style was always bad. It was just terrible from the start.
Yeah, actually, here's the thing, Snake. A lot of people agree with you. It's like, oh my gosh, a cartoonish like fighting game like style DC finally giving us that air combos, like default original superhero outfits in the fighting game. Bro, this is all looking great, and it's mobile. Like that's the unfortunate thing. It's just like, well, like we want to play this, but it's mobile. So unfortunately. By the way, did you guys know what they're calling this game?
DCKO?
DCKO. Yes, they're calling it DCKO.
I just guessed. Guys? I just know the internet, so I just said DCKO because you're sounding it out. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all want to play some DCKO here, guys? DCKO. It's just like I don't think any of the people you expect to want to play this game are gonna matter. It's just gonna be Here's the thing. The most that's gonna I can already see the future. I already can see it. By the way, guys, we're gonna be on this podcast like a couple months from now. DCKO is gonna be out. No one's gonna talk about it, and Snake is gonna come here every month and be like, "So they released the Weasel into DCKO, and he's got a little plot here, and then Scorpion is out in DCKO now too, and here's his collaboration with these DCKO. That's cool." Anyways, moving on. I feel like that's gonna be the legacy of DCKO, as we're gonna see it from
Onslaught. Here. I get it.
That would be very funny. Because I do miss those days where I could just come here and go, yeah, so Ash was in the game, and here's what her plot's about. It was fucking shite. Here's Kenji's plot. It was really interesting, but they missed the mark just a bit.
So they had this really cool idea with like Noob Saibot and like Kwai Liang, but then they dropped it and went with the lazy. Oh, he was just faking it the whole time. Boo.
So I feel like I just want to send some memes. Y'all remember like a year ago when? Oh, actually, I forgot when Marvel Tokon was announced. But when Marvel Tokon was announced, like there was a one streamer who was like, "DC fans gonna have to play Injustice." Well, now it's DC fans gonna have to play DCKO. And then now you've got okay, so DC fans get DCKO and Marvel fans get fucking Arc Systems, like beautifully art style drawn, like hype as fuck Tokon.
The thing is, I knew a friend back in the day who preferred like Injustice Mobile and he liked MK Mobile, so that guy is very happy. Anyone who likes the mobile games because they're way easier than a typical fighting game is excited about this. They're like, yeah.
I almost feel like you're not even you shouldn't even be in the same conversation as a fighting game player, if you know what I mean. Like the market, does that sound weird? It's like a fighting game is coming out on mobile. It's like cool. So is this like the same conversation we're having as like a fighting game player, or is it just a mobile player? If that makes any sense. Like I feel like it's two different. Almost it feels like two different genres or players. If that makes any sense to me.
Well, they are. Yeah, no, they are. That's the thing. And I think that's actually kind of clever to have like this one market, because let's be real, all you need to make this game successful is a few whales, just a few Darkside Phils that are spending all that money on the mobile wrestling game. That's all you need. I don't know if you guys know about the lore on that, but apparently DSP spent a lot of money on a wrestling mobile game.
Yeah.
Do y'all even know who DSP is? Yeah, I know that Snake does. I'm not sure if Sonic does.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the guy who got famous for like scratching his leg at the start of a stream and not realizing the camera.
Oh, he was already famous, but that was his second awakening.
Yeah,
that was the Renaissance.
I gotta say,
the people on the fringes would have heard of that.
The reason why he's relevant nowadays is because there will be a new game that comes out, and there will be like a clip of him sucking so bad at it that it's actually kind of funny and endearing in a way, seeing how bad he is at sucking at the game.
You almost think it's intentional.
It almost does.
He's like taking it, but no, he just is that bad at playing games. Yeah. But guys, he was the best Street Fighter 2 player in America for like Neo Geo conversion of Street Fighter 2. Don't forget.
You would not have known that by seeing him play.
There's so much lore for Darkside Phil. Entire channels have been made just discussing. He was like the original Chris Chan, but for like fighting games. So I guess Chris Chan was probably first. Anyway, yeah.
But before we end off with the DCKO conversation, the main reason I wanted to bring it up as like our first topic, because not only is because it's DC related, Warner Brothers related, relates to us, because we talk about Mortal Kombat and whatnot. I do want to also bring up the fact that, like, when this was announced, this group chat was on fire. Like, y'all were like celebrating, y'all were shouting, y'all were saying, "We won the bet, guys! We did it! It's over! This confirms Mortal Kombat 13 right here, guys. We did it! It's over! We win!"
I think you're a lot more invested in this than the two of us were, Sonic. I think you're just like coping so hard because we were like, "Yo, this seems like evidence," and you're like, "No, it's not evidence. It means nothing."
We're coping.
So you're trying to make
We're
us look
coping
like the
here.
crazy people, but it's
That's
you.
what's happening
You're the
here.
crazy person. I'm doing this for the thumbnail, by the way. You're the crazy one.
I do love that this game, when it came out, there's so many bigger like fighting game channels who didn't even call it the title of the game because no one cares really. Like, we do care, but instead, because they want to get maximum views, right? I saw a lot of big channels just call it, "This isn't Injustice 3." Or wait, what's this game? Because that's a more eye-catching title than DCKO mobile game announced, So I just found that funny. It wasn't there was an equal amount of hype around this game being revealed and also it not being Injustice 3. Those two things were like neck and neck.
It is a new DC.
While it doesn't negate the possibility of Injustice 3, it did make me think that it like makes it less likely. Only because I don't see the reason why you'd announce like a DC game before your big DC game, because it kind of takes the hype away a little bit, I feel like. But I guess you could argue it builds up the hype too. Who knows?
It is
I
just
feel
a
like they're
mobile
gonna
game. Because like there's the same. We could just make the same example of the game that I just brought up, the a DC Worlds Collide. It's like, oh, why did they announce this a year before? I mean, isn't there gonna be the new big DC game? But it's just a mobile game, and I feel like, unfortunately, mobile games.
This is a fighting game, but yeah.
For specifically fighting games, that's what you're saying. That I see. To me, at least, I don't really see this affecting, like, what's it called? Whatever NetherRealm was doing next, honestly.
Injustice. Injustice 3.
Well, it's because Injustice 1 and 2 both had mobile games. Injustice 2 is still getting updated. This is obviously a bit more of like an in-depth, like, proper fighting game. And you could easily have just made this as like the tie-in to an Injustice console game. Maybe even have some stuff that carries over between the two, like you can do cross progression with your characters and whatnot, or certain things might be available in one before the other. And like, so why would you have two separate fighting games when you could have one for the synergy?
It could just be that Injustice 2 mobile doesn't sell well, so they're like, we're just gonna try again. We're gonna try a new fresh coat of paint. We're selling you the same car, but like it looks a little bit different. Fresh coat of paint. We're gonna give it a new name. Maybe people will buy this car. Maybe. Some people, I think, even said the animations from the Injustice games are showing up in this a little bit if you look closely. I'm not sure if I noticed that, but they were saying some of the Injustice animations are in DCKO. But
Here's how you can tell: is you look at the animations and go, okay, are these animations dog shit? Okay, they're from Injustice.
Damn. I mean, are they just?
It's not fair.
There are some cartoonish like flair to it and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily think it's like that.
Injustice is like a typical NetherRealm game. The animations are goofy. I think almost more so with Injustice, only because. But Injustice zooms the camera out, so maybe it's harder to notice. But Injustice did have some really wonky animations. I remember just laughing at some of the choices for attacks, like the fact that Flash, of all characters, one of his best advantages is he has a crouching string, where he just goes, kicks you in your little shin, and then he elbows you in your dick, and that's like his best combo starter while crouching. It looks really stupid. And I'm like, the Flash wouldn't fight this way. The Flash wouldn't get down low and go, I'm going to attack your little feetsies. I'm going to attack your tootsies. Anyway, go ahead, Sonic.
So basically, one thing that was asked by for the developer, because the developers were on Twitter when the game was announced, people were being like, so like this feels like one of those things where like in Mortal Kombat or Injustice, when they make the mobile version of the what do they call those platforms, like PC, Steam versions? How do I say the difference? There's a mobile version and there's a Yeah, so they're like, maybe there's gonna be like a place. Thank you. This is like the mobile version for the console game, guys. They're just showing the mobile version first, and then they're gonna show DCKO on the console. The developers are like, no plans for that.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Has that ever happened where they show the spin-off like weak version first? I don't think so.
No.
Super Smash Bros. 4 on the 3DS. That came out first.
Well, that's a bit different, but yeah, because that's like their mainline, one of their mainline handheld consoles. But yeah,
and that was a case of the 3DS version came out months before the Wii U version, and both were announced together. Whereas here it's like we announced the mobile version, then we're going to announce, we're going to do a console version as well, or a console game similar to it later down the line. And it's like, well, everyone's first impression is this mobile version. So if this doesn't wow them, which realistically it's not going to wow people the way a console version would.
No,
you just set yourself up for failure. But then again, if I think about Warner Bros., anytime you look at it and go, they wouldn't do this. That'd be fucking stupid. You have to remember who we'll be talking about. When was the last time Warner Bros. Made a good decision?
It's true.
I can't think of when it was. The last good Warner Bros. Decision predates this podcast. That's how long it's been.
True. I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but at the end of the trailer too, it says coming first to Android and iOS. This almost implies there may be a PC version, similar to how Raid Shadow Legends can be played on PC and stuff.
Yeah, I think it will just be a Steam one, because there are mobile games like Contest of Champions did that, and like Dawg said.
Does
Raid.
WB have its own dedicated game platform or no? Like how Raid Shadow Legends has Plarium or anything? No, okay.
No, yeah.
No, it'll probably just be Steam.
People forget about Plarium and all that, because sometimes you like want to play a game and it's not on Steam. It's rare, but I wanted to play like Alice Madness Returns and it wasn't on Steam. It was only on Plarium or something. I was like, damn.
Yeah, sometimes it's
sucks.
unfortunate. Yeah. So just to clarify, by the way, because I'm not like pointing fingers, but I do remember when DCKO was announced, y'all were celebrating. y'all were like typing messages. This is the nail in the coffin.
The final nail.
I mean, you're making it sound like he's exuberant. I just read that as
injustice is over.
Yeah, these are neutral statements.
He's doing it to you now. He's doing it to you now, Snake. He always does this. He takes what you say and he twists it.
I'm literally copy pasting exactly what y'all type, by the way, and the
it's the way you narrate it. It's the way you narrate it.
Sorry, you interpreted it wrong.
It's like when he tells me you got ratioed and it's 2 replies. You got ratioed.
We won, guys.
Imagine if we broke the news to him that Kari Tagawa died. So, Kari Haruka Tagawa.
Whoa! Be very careful what you're about to say here.
You guys were celebrating in the DMs.
This is really insensitive, Snake. Be careful. Wait! Don't bring him into this. Goodness gracious! Holy shit! Make another example.
Okay, fine. So
I get what he's going for.
We break the news to you, unfortunately, NetherRealm's closing down, everyone's lost their jobs, the MK franchise is over, and Sonic's like, you two were celebrated in the DMs, like, no, we just said it happened. Like,
to be fair, I feel like y'all would be.
There's not even exclamation points in the comments. I think Sonic's just a liar here.
Sonic,
our DMs don't even have exclamation points, they're just periods.
Sonic, I would not celebrate the end of MK.
Look up your own messages! Did you think I made that up? I literally fucking screenshotted what we had in the group chat 2 weeks ago. What do you mean? I'm making that up?
They end with periods. They end with periods. Why are you yelling them like we're all excited?
Yeah, it's just text. You did
think,
that internet
part.
thing.
Okay.
You did that thing
Very
people do on
funny.
Twitter where they read a tweet and then they come to their own conclusion about what it means and then respond in response to that, get mad about it, and it's like. No, I'm not saying that I hate waffles. I'm just saying I like pancakes. You made that up.
I have no idea.
No, he's dancing. No.
I'm just bringing up what happened 2 weeks.
To be fair, there is still a chance for Injustice 3 fans. There's still a chance, and that's that WB has no clue what they're doing. So it is still very possible they release all these DC fighting games to flood their own market and cannibalize their own audience.
And also to clarify, by the way,
it's very possible.
I'm just saying. I just thought it was kind of funny. We had some fun in the group chats when talking about when this happened. But to be fair though, Dawg, you did also made about like 2 or 3 videos talking about Injustice 3 is over and like Mortal Kombat 13 is definitely confirmed. I'm not lying about this. That's on purpose,
so that when Injustice 3 gets announced, I can put my face all like shocked, like black and white, like heavy, fried, and just like. Or just be like, it released, or I was wrong about Injustice 3.
He's laying the foundation. You see, you can't just conjure slop out. You can't just conjure slop out of nowhere. He has to plant the seeds for his slop. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is
you gotta
4D
build the
chess
slop pile.
4D chess slop.
Yeah,
exactly.
You call it slop, but you can't grind like I do.
I'm not saying
It's
slop as
sweaty.
a criticism. Once again, this is purely neutral. You're reading too much into it, dog.
Hey, sometimes the slop works. Like, I'm shocked. One of my recent news videos, I thought it kind of flopped, and I checked back on it. It's like approaching 50,000 views now. I'm like, oh, the video got like 10,000 views the first day. I thought it flopped. That's just at 50K. I'm like, okay, well.
You say sometimes the slop it works. It's like, well, yeah, you're the most successful out of the three of us. Of course, it fucking works.
Sometimes you're the slop. Sometimes you're the pig. It just depends.
Damn. What I was about to bring up is like the most random videos get like views because right now I'm releasing my Mortal Kombat Chaos Realm sucks. Like some of the funny clips, I'm like turning them into YouTube Shorts and posting them on Twitter. Like I'm like they're doing decent, but really randomly, like the recent short video I uploaded onto YouTube is doing very successful. It's the most successful short I've released in the last like 10 of them, and it's the one where Bihan grabs your face. That one is doing the most successful right now.
You gotta do Twitter Blue. You gotta activate the blue so you can start raking in the dough, and then you can start like purposely triggering people.
See, what this tells you, Sonic, is that you should listen to what I say, take my ideas on board, because they are absolute bangers every single time.
Okay, you say that, Snake. August 6th, your Harder Daddy short will be released, just so you know. August 6th. That's when that one comes out, just so you know. The one that you gave me the idea for.
And it will be a banger, and if it's not a banger, then I will reject reality and just make up some bullshit excuse for why it didn't take off and say somehow it's your fault when you clipped my thing.
Okay. What do you mean that's my idea? That's not my idea. That's a stupid idea. You know, it was never gonna work out, guys.
I didn't tell you to do that, Sonic. That was you. That was entirely on you. I just said it would be funny. Then you just chose to make it.
You can win them both
I gotta
sides.
follow Sonic's more on Twitter. I gotta look at all your stuff. I do follow you. I just don't get alerted for some reason. Huh.
A lot of things on Twitter, I guess. You're using the for you instead of the follow you. You know, so you get more random rage bait stuff instead of who you follow.
Yeah,
You know.
people who use for you are fucking animals. I don't understand them at all.
I like to go in both. I like to go like change it around. If the people I follow are just posting boring things, I go to for you. And if it really is pissing me off, what the fuck is up with Twitter today, then I'll go to followers, like who I'm following. Just go back and forth, back and forth. Like right now, there's a really stupid trend on Twitter that's like, if you hold the image, you'll see like the black part show the image right now. Isn't that really cool? Yeah. Now do that 10,000 more times on fucking YouTube, Twitter. Never gonna get sick of that, I'm sure. Hee hee. I don't know if any of you have seen that trend recently.
No.
Yeah.
Good for y'all. Avatar, everybody. Why don't we talk a little bit about... Actually, wait. Do you guys want to go Avatar or Tokon?
Okay, Tokon will be faster.
Let's talk about our second topic, which is Avatar, which is Tokon, because I've cut everything else from the Avatar conversation.
The fuck happened to my camera? I've never seen this happen. I went like...
Damn, what a shitty room. It's all dirty and
filthy.
filthy.
Fuck off.
What a disorganized
Piece of
mess.
shit.
My God.
That's why I'm not showing my whole room. What do you think? Fuck shit.
No, I'm
Okay,
just
I
teasing.
fucked
Like,
up. I fucked up.
I just remember I got a great reaction during the last podcast where like the camera barely moved and showed the keyboard, and I just wanted to twist your balls. So I was like, look at that dirty ass keyboard. And instead of just laughing, you went, shut the fuck up, and got all defensive. So that's my new thing now.
Okay.
To just call various parts of your room dirty.
And that's my fucking camera like fucking me over. Okay, Snake, just so you know, right now, I did a little pause.
Bihan grabs you.
Tiny pause for like about a second. So you might want to sync us up again, just so you know.
Okay. When your video's back on, we'll do that.
Okay, sure. Unfortunately, my video.
And just so you know, I'm not cutting any of this, Sonic.
Oh, I meant like it's gonna like not time well. Is what I'm trying to
Okay.
say. Why is there a banana peel there?
Banana.
Oh my gosh. I thought my new method would work, but yeah, I think I can't be using my phone to
Dog, is this thumbnail bait?
It could be. That's a good idea, actually.
thumbnail bait.
No, I was going to do an Asmongold joke at first where it's like, oh, look, I found a day-old banana peel, but that's not true. It's just from this morning. Like, right before we recorded, I shoved a banana. You know? That sounds so bad out of context. Anyway, I ate a banana.
Just so you know, my camera won't be on for another 10 minutes.
I'm not the amazing atheist. I did not shove a banana.
I thought, I won't make that joke. That's a bit obscure. I don't think people would get that. It turns out, no, you would get it.
Oh yeah, I do think humans have a tiny bit of telepathy, and I think I could sense that you were sensing that, and I was like, let's just drop this. Let's drop this joke.
The same wavelength right there. So just so you know, Snake, my camera won't be back on for another 10 minutes, so we should probably just keep moving on. My phone, I can't be using it as a camera anymore because it overheats way too fast now, which is bad because this is like a new phone.
Gotcha.
I shouldn't be doing this. So I'll be in Japan, so I can't get the webcam immediately, unfortunately. But I'll probably get a webcam.
What do you mean? Japan has all the tech.
I'm not buying it in Japan.
But those tariffs are murder. You should get it while you're there, and then bring it across. Anyway, I guess we'll do Marvel Tokon then, since like otherwise Sonic would join in, but he's busy getting his stuff together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm still here, guys. Don't worry about it.
yeah, Marvel Tokon made some changes. On PC, sadly, it's almost unplayable online, so hopefully that gets fixed. You can't tell if you watch it, but when you're playing, there's like a full second delay between what you press and the stuff coming out. It does not feel good. But labbing the game was fun. I enjoyed playing some Penny Parker. It took me a bit to realize the game has a weird limit where you can only do 4 attacks on hit or block for the start of your combo. That was weird, because I'm used to like how all the other attack fighters do it, where you can do like light, medium, heavy, special, then launcher or something. You can't do that. You can only do 4 hits and then a special. So you can do light, light, medium, medium. You can do light, medium, heavy, heavy. You can do light, medium, medium, medium. But you can't do anything past the 4.
Interesting.
And that was really throwing me off. I thought I was pressing buttons wrong or something. Then I remembered there's a double jump, and that made combos a lot of fun. Penny Parker has a mix of Tron and Hashenko, which is fun. It was enjoyable to play as that character. She also has a no you attack where she shoots her webs out of her robot, and if you do EX, it just destroys all projectiles in its path. So I liked doing that. If someone tried to like zone me, I go no you. You just web them in and pull them close.
Nice.
And get a combo. That was fun.
So it's like in Rivals when you see when you're playing Penny, you see someone popping their ult and you just go.
Nope.
Oh, I love that.
Like,
I love the shutty. I tell him to shut up. Then also Green Goblin has a Hobgoblin skin. So that was neat.
Nice.
I appreciated them including
a
that.
color or an actual alternate costume?
It's a color, but it looks the same because they have the same outfit pretty much, just different colors. So it just looks like Hobgoblin.
It looks pretty good though.
Like straight up, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
I had to use it. He's complicated though, and the way the game is explained is really confusing when you go to the move lists and stuff. So it was hard to know what each character could really do. There's already been a tournament too for Marvel Tokon, so that was fun.
Nice.
At Evo and stuff. Though everyone used the same 3 or 4 characters because it's clear who the top tiers are already. And unfortunately, poor Penny is not on there.
I can imagine.
She has Evangelion colors, so that was cute. Whoever designed the colors for all the outfits is very fun. Like they know what they're doing. Then again, I guess the Evangelion colors could just be the evil like symbiote mech from the comics that has purple and green.
I mean, they also kind of have that for her first skin in Marvel Rivals too, right? Like it looks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it looks like Evangelion, so it could just be that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But yeah, Marvel Tokon's fun. I do see it being a huge pain in the ass when people discover that when you call an assist, there's almost no cooldown, and you have 3 assists, right? So once you have every character unlocked, you can just spam assists from full screen, and your opponent can't really do anything about it, except spam theirs, and it's going to be really weird to see 8 characters on screen. I predict that being an issue, but we shall see.
I mean, that just sounds really
Also,
chaotic fun, though. Like, just like, once everybody unlocks their full potential, quote unquote, of like getting all characters on screen, that just seems like that's what made the aspect of 4v4 like really intriguing to me. Just like, how crazy can this go?
And they sped up the arena transitions too, which is good because they happen all the time.
That's good.
They made them way faster, so you're not stuck watching them for a long time. It's not Injustice, thank God. It's fast. It's like less than 4 seconds. Also, I kind of wish there was more of a reason to switch characters because there still isn't. You have 1 health bar and all your characters share the health bar. So you can switch for combo's sake, and it's very similar to 2XKO where you can call in your teammate for an assist, then your main character does a move, and then you switch to the character you tagged in before they leave, and it leaves your original main character doing a move still, so it like juggles the opponent. You can do that, just like 2XKO, but outside of that, outside of doing a flashy combo, there's no reason to switch characters, and at the tournament, I didn't see many people switching. So that's still an issue. I hope they find a way to fix that.
That was something actually I want to ask you, Dawg, because I feel like even though it's a quote unquote a 4v4 fighter, it feels like because you can play all four, but for the most part, it feels like you're playing one character and then you're using assist and occasionally switching to the other character. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I've seen the most people playing like that.
It feels like MK1 if you had 3 cameos and every now and then you felt like switching to one of the cameos. That really is how it feels. I didn't like the wake up system either, because when the opponent gets off the ground, they like are temporarily invincible for a split second, and because the game's so fast, it's very easy for them to wake up mashing and get out of your pressure. And I'm like, well, that sucks. But I guess the idea is you just call an assist and then like neutral jump or something. So at worst, they hit your assist, and then you bop them on the head. You give them a little bop and get a second combo going. Somebody was saying Star-Lord's going to be, the Evo champion is saying that Star-Lord's going to be the best character for a bit because he can freeze you at the end of a combo, which restands you, and you won't get any wake-up options. You can't tech roll away. You can't do anything. You're just forced to eat more of the mix. So he thinks that'll be a top tier. Storm is the most brain dead from what I've seen, which, I mean, classic. Just like in Marvel 3, classic, and Marvel 2. She is fun, though, with her like little gimmicks and her moves and stuff. I like her JoJo poses. They are interesting. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm excited for all the characters that weren't playable in the beta. Like, I'm excited for Carnage. That'll be neat. I'm excited for... Who else wasn't playable but has been announced?
Deadpool, Hulk, and Loki.
Did y'all notice, by the way, in the trailer? It's so fast, but in the launch trailer, we see that Deadpool has Cell's intro from Dragon Ball FighterZ, where he goes Super Saiyan. He goes,
Yes.
It has like the aura. I love the knowledge that that's like the most hype thing ever. That was the only reason that people weren't angry to see Cell in all the early Fighters tournaments, because his intro was so hyped that the whole crowd got into it.
Yeah,
I am hoping that we get a lot of more color options, because Arxis is known for having tons of alternate colors, a lot of which are references to other games. Like a third of the alternate colors in Persona 4 Arena are from other Arxis games, like from BlazBlue and stuff. So if we got like Magic in Soul Bad Guy's colors, or Ragnar the Blood Edges, I think that'd be really cool. But it just depends on whether the license holder allows them to do that. Because Marvel might just go, no, you can't do that. No fun allowed.
People are
For mostly color-wise, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I mean, the thing is, Deadpool is doing a lot of like quote-unquote like copyrightable references. So hopefully we will get it for the
that Hobgoblin color looks fucking great. Cause I'm looking at a video with all the colors. There's a lot of really good references in here. Like Blade has the Moon Knight color palette as an option, and then you have like the all white Doom from Secret Wars, and cool like blue and yellow X-Men colors, Uncanny X-Force Wolverine. There's some good shit in here. There'll be some successful videos about all this, you can tell.
They have the 70s version of Ghost Rider too, which is dope. Yeah, it's really cool.
Speaking of X-Men, they announced the first DLC character from Marvel.
And it's
Tokon.
Phoenix Cyclops, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's a crazy pick. It's like Cyclops? Okay, no. Phoenix Cyclops. It's like, what? From that, like, what? Like, what? Huh? What? From that one issue? What?
No, it looks really cool. And we are in the era of Cyclops. This is interesting. For anyone watching not aware, you'd be painfully aware if you're a Cyclops fan. He was missing from like all media for a bit. He wasn't in anything. He wasn't in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, right? He wasn't in Marvel 3 either. He wasn't in any of the like movies for the longest time at all.
He's had it rough since... It started with the 90s, because the cartoon kind of made him a bit of a putz, but then with the movies, it really got bad. Where in the movies, Wolverine's the main character.
X3 afterwards,
and Scott's just constantly being sidelined and whatnot, and it was awful. And then in the comics, they were like, well, now Scott's going to be evil. There's going to be a schism in the X-Men where they're going to split Wolverine's side and Scott's side, and Scott's the one saying we need to go like Magneto, and Wolverine's like, no, we need to follow Charles's example, which... In no universe does that make sense. It should be the other way around. But that's how far Scott had fallen. And then Avengers vs. X-Men comes out. He's the villain. He becomes Phoenix Cyclops, betrays Emma and gets the full Phoenix power, murders Charles Xavier, which, to be fair, he kind of had coming for a long time. Because Charles in the comics is a dirtbag, which if you only follow the adaptations...
The more you read it, if
you follow the adaptations, you have no idea. You think, Patrick Stewart is a dirtbag? No, he can't play a dirtbag. He's Patrick Stewart. And it's like, oh no, Charles in the comics is a monster. And so...
he hid his older brother from him for most of his life.
Yeah, and like, I hate the fact that he got him killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge dirtbag. And so Scott went down this awful direction. Then plus around the same time, Marvel was like, we're gonna devalue the X-Men brand because we don't have the film right, so we're gonna go and focus on the Avengers, and the Inhumans are the new mutants, they're the new thing for minorities. That's what we're gonna do next. And Scott died to a virus at the start of a storyline, and then Emma just pretended he was alive the whole time. It was terrible. But in recent years, he started to make a comeback. We got X-Men '97, we got Rivals. They put him in this DLC in Cosmic
Let me
Invasion.
put it right here.
But I do appreciate that this isn't just we're putting 90s Cyclops back in. 90s Cyclops, everyone loves 90s Cyclops. We're going to bring him back once again. Just because it's the same voice actor as the other games and in the show doesn't mean it's just the same Cyclops. It is villain dirtbag Cyclops. They are acknowledging this era of the character as well. It's like, yeah, we're going to do some stuff with that, which is good because you don't want to just ignore all the bad stuff. You can do some good stuff with it. So yeah, it's good to see that we can still have Cyclops having different dimensions to him, even if it's not the one you necessarily want, but you got him in other stuff, so you can go, yeah, I can for this one game have the villain version. Let's go.
Yeah, and it actually gets me really interested in knowing, like, so who's his teammates? Because remember, this is like a team game, and like there's always like
good
this
point.
team reasoning to be together. And many people are saying that are these like the fallen heroes, or like the heroes who are going too far type kind of characters? I don't know, symbiote like Spider-Man characters, or like there was like another
That'd be
example.
dope.
Like there's a lot of them from I saw it in your
Venom
comments,
MJ.
actually. What? No.
Surely they're not going to put more X-Men, right? Surely, because we already have so many X-Men, don't we? Like in the game.
I don't think so, but
That's the thing you'll notice if you look at all the characters in Rivals, is there's been like 2 seasons, I think, since the game came out that didn't have any new X-Men added, because we're constantly getting X-Men. And to be fair, the X-Men have a lot of the best characters in Marvel, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah.
can we maybe focus on something else? Maybe get some villains in, which, like, supposedly we're meant to be getting a villain next season, according to some leaks, which, that's cool.
yeah.
But,
Next 2 seasons.
so
yes.
that's good, but maybe calm down a bit on the X-Men. I get that they're having a renaissance now, but there are other teams you can pull from, and that would be nice.
Yeah, here I found your tweet, Snake, because you were also talking
Yeah.
about how it's like, so are these going to be like the Phoenix Four? Because like Cyclops, Emma, Colossus,
That'd be cool.
Magic, or Namor.
Yeah.
But people are kind of saying it's like, it feels more like it's going to be like a fallen like Avenger.
Yeah.
Because if it's going to be that would be a little too obvious and too X-Men-y. And Marvel Tokon has been very not obvious as to where they're going with things.
I mean, I kind of hope it's not a team. I know that would be like upsetting to some people, but I kind of just hope it's 4 completely random, unrelated characters.
That could be the case too. That's kind of Ghost Rider, and that's kind of Peter Parker's team. That kind of is like what they did there.
Yeah, but I do kind of like the idea of a theme like that, of like fallen heroes. I mean,
Yeah, like the comment here says the Maker from Mr. Fantastic, Strange Supreme, The Void.
yeah.
It'd be
shit.
like
The Void.
Black Surfer, All
The
Father
funny pick that
4.
they can't do. I mean, Thor's not in the game yet.
Yeah.
The funny pick that they can't do would be, imagine if instead of Steve they had Sam as Captain America. Well, we got some characters gets to be replaced by their successors. It's fine. And then Hydra Cap shows up, not just as an alternate color like he is currently. Actual Hydra Cap shows up and he goes, yeah,
Actual new character.
the evil Hydra, technically Nazi Captain America. He's the one we're getting. People would be so mad.
I mean, the thing is, from what I've heard, as cool as Phoenix Cyclops is, his comic issue sucks.
Oh yeah, Avengers versus X-Men, atrocious. However,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanda, evil fallen Wanda.
Okay. Oh. What if? Worse. Not worse, but maybe it'd be cooler. Zombie Wanda.
Oh, no, not again.
Just Zombie Wanda.
Putting a
I mean-
Marvel Zombies character in a fighting game. That would be ballsy.
The thing is, it's their own interpretation. This is not based off of like the What If like show. This is like their, because was Wanda zombie in the comics like prevalent?
No. I mean, there might be some other Marvel Zombies things to keep rebooting every few years and do another universe. But I think the classic Zombies story, Wanda I think she was there, but I think she was killed fairly
Okay.
early on.
Because in the What If show, it's like she is a zombie, but she's much more like able to control herself, and she's much more just being evil. Like she has
Yeah.
her own thoughts and like even though she's a zombie, yeah. So she's much more of a not just like a mindless zombie in that show. So that she has personality is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Ooh, I thought of a character that'd be a good pick to join this fallen hero set, the Winter Soldier.
That
be
makes
fun.
sense. Yes, he was in Infinite.
It'd be great. I am worried they don't want to do too much overlap with Marvel Rivals, but then again, Marvel Rivals has all the fun characters, so I mean...
I don't think that's an issue. I think it's gonna be half and half. It's like half like who you expect, some Marvel Rivals synergy, and then some just like, oh, I did not expect that. I mean, there's Loki, because like that's also one of the last characters they announced. Like Loki and Deadpool.
I think we're safe for that just because if you look at Penny,
Blade.
if you just show someone these two designs for Penny and go, okay, one of these is in a competitive fighting game and one's in a hero shooter, like 95% of people would guess that the one in the spider mech is in the hero shooter and the one in the humanoid mech is in the fighting game because that'd be easy for the animations. But no, so they clearly just like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. We can do anything. It's fine.
Exactly.
I think we're good. So this is the thing. This is one of the most exciting fighting games for a roster because they do such wild swings, like Danger. Who would ever guess Danger? And then here's this slot. We have to have a Black Panther. Well, it's Shuri. We have to have,
Ghost Rider?
this slot with the Ghost. Yeah, and it's like you wouldn't expect it to be this Ghost Rider. So they just do wild things sometimes, and Carnage instead of Venom. Carnage instead of Venom. Who would ever predict that?
Yeah, exactly what you said about DCKO, like the comic. You were saying it's like, oh, not the
actually.
normal Flash, not the right, exactly, like Green Lantern. Yeah. I hope you guys are excited to play the game when it comes out. I think days from now. The game is coming out like August 6th, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be hype.
I'm excited, yeah.
I was trying to get a video of Wasted Potential on MVC Infinite out in time for it, but I'm not going to be able to if I'm editing this episode, so it's going to be a little later.
I'm excited to watch that. That's gonna be a fun ride. The thing I'm looking forward to also in Marvel Tokon is the story mode, because apparently there's a story mode, but also there's a different story depending on each team you pick. And there's going to be like different endings and whatnot, from what I've heard. Like whoever wins the tournament will get a different ending. So I'm a little interested in seeing. Here's the thing though, I've heard Guilty Gear's Strive story mode isn't the best and whatnot, but I am still excited to see how they tackle this story mode.
Yeah, cause I'm a bit worried about this because I'm sure it won't be, but I tried getting into Guilty Gear with one of the games, and then I found out, the story mode is literally just a movie you watch separately, and there's no gameplay attached. I suddenly don't give a shit anymore.
I do wonder if that's the case for I think from what I've heard it's gonna be half and half. It's gonna be like there's gonna be cutscenes and then there's gonna be like comic book-y style like ways of how they show the story mode and whatnot in Marvel Tokon. That's what I have heard.
This is one of those cases where you can accept that. Like if Injustice did that, you'd be like, yeah, sure, it's a comic book game. It makes sense stylistically. Whereas if it was MK, you'd go, no, that's not acceptable. It has to be like the full cinematic experience. It's just the way it is with some franchises.
Avatar time. Did you fix the camera yet, Sonic?
Oh yes, I have been preparing for this moment, cooling off my freaking phone for the Avatar discussion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because I think one of the ways I can make it not as laggy is to connect it to my Wi-Fi. So right now I'm going in laggy mode. If that makes any sense, look at me. Check this out. Check this out. Look at my screen.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
How will this be for the actual video recording though?
It will be like this. It will literally be it will literally be like this. Although I'm not sure if I want to like get it back or not. But this is just temporary right now. You're just gonna see me like choppy mode Sonic. I feel like this is an aesthetic.
He's doing the aesthetic of the Tokon story mode, where it's just still images every now and then, key poses.
Yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna look because right now, oh my gosh, it's not moving at all right now. I move, do something, but it should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna see if it. Yeah, there we go. I'm doing the flip, the flop, the flip. I'm not sure. I'll buy a webcam when I come back. But I just can't believe my phone just does this like immediately. When I've used this for like a couple months already, it was being pretty good. Regardless, I would like to talk about Avatar Legends, the fighting game. So, I'm going to assume neither of you have played the official release of the game, but Dawg, you've played the demo, right?
I have not. I lied to your face about that. I have not.
Well, I think you
I
made
just
it a
wanted
point.
to.
Wow.
I just wanted to avoid that gotcha. Yeah.
Wow. Lying on this podcast in front of
Never.
thousands
I
of
would
people?
never do such a thing.
I guess we're skipping this topic, all right? Guess that's the
Motherfucker,
episode.
I played it. I can talk about it. I did my homework. Okay, listen. When the Marvel Tokon comes out, y'all will be playing it. Y'all will be talking about it. Hey, I'm moving a bit more. So you guys can handle the Marvel Tokon discussion when that happens. But I'll do my job with Avatar because I know y'all haven't. So I'll make it brief for the less interesting things because I know you guys want to talk about you want to hear about the controversies and the story mode because I went through both. But to give a very brief summary, this is people are kind of comparing it to oh my, what the fuck, this thing only lasted for seconds. Okay, now I'm back here. I don't think it was overheat, it was the Wi-Fi. Yeah, my brother is home right now, so that's probably why everyone's taking up the Wi-Fi. That's why the Wi-Fi is a little choppy here. Regardless, so the gameplay is they claim it to be on the simpler side of really, really hard fighting games, but also they say it's kind of like classic fighting games like Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 3-ish, that kind of frames, what do you call those? The counting the frames or how safe is it on block and stuff like that aren't too big of a factor, whereas it's more about spacing is more of a factor in the fights and stuff. Things move very fast and fluid, I guess is a word that I would be using here. But here's the thing though, when I played this game, I was like, okay, even trying out some of the more basic combos is hurting my fingers. So Snake, I would say, Invincible Versus was easy for you. I feel like that game, you could go through the story mode. This game, I don't know about that, honestly. You have an auto combo, but it's a pretty weak auto combo. So even then, I don't know how long you can survive with that in this game because you got to do your quarter circles. You got to do that in order to get your special combos and stuff like that. But the thing that makes the game very intuitive, I would say, is it is fast and there is a lot of... I forgot the phrase. Dawg, how do you say when... I'm not talking about blocking high or low, there's the 50-50. I'm talking about blocking front or back. Because you know how it's
Cross-ups.
Cross-ups, thank you. There is a ton of those, and that shit
Fucking
actually gets
LARPer.
pretty nasty. Yeah, okay, sure. Guy who hasn't played the game, okay, sure. And you can see people doing shit where it's Zahir is flying around you. He'll be I'm gonna kick in front of you, fly behind you, kick behind you, fly in front of you. Don't kick, then cancel and fly behind you and kick you. And that leads into a full combo and shit like that.
At least there's no assists to confuse everything. At least we don't have that to worry about.
Unless if you're playing Zahir because he calls him his
That's
four
true.
teammates. But that's
Oh,
he's more of a summon
no.
character. It's fair. It's not
Well, also, hopefully, every game handles it differently. I'm guessing the way that Avatar handles it is that you have to block in the direction of the main character. So as long as you're watching Zahir, you should be fine. Whereas in some games, it just depends where you get hit from. That it depends on how they do it. I still don't know how Tokon does it. Because, sorry, real quick, really fast segue.
No
in
worries.
Tokon, for example, with magic, she has a portal. So what players are starting to do now is they'll end the combo early to set a portal up. Then they'll summon their assist and use the portal, and the enemy doesn't know which side she's going to go to. And based on which side she goes to, the assist will hit in a different spot, and you have to be able to ready to block which direction, and it's unreactable so far.
nasty.
I don't think Zahir can do anything like that. I think as long as you watch the birdie, you should be okay.
Watch how he flies, yes. Quick question, because Tokon has all those assists, and that means they're coming from all different directions, is it viable to do this to block?
No.
Okay, it's not that ridiculous.
You can't trick the game.
That'd be very
Some
funny.
people will call that fuzzy guarding. That's one of those weird fighting game terms that has
Heard
multiple
about that,
meanings.
Yeah.
It depends on what game you're playing. It can mean a different thing in each fighting game. But some people call that fuzzying when you just try to manually, you try to muscle memory it instead of trying to actually react. You just kind of muscle memory the block timing. That can work for some things. A good example of that is if you're fighting a character who has 50-50s in the front, like overhead low, but you know the overhead is slower, so you just block low and then block high, and it covers both situations. But it can work for cross-ups too.
Nice.
Or just jab their ass.
Oh yeah, jabbing is very fast in this game. So I'm not the best reviewer when it comes to these types of games, and also I am definitely not good enough to say I'm playing online, I'm playing ranked, which actually ranked isn't even in this game yet. But What I will say is, weirdly enough, playing this game does feel good. Like, it's a very fluid and fast and fun feeling game. Again, I guess I'm a fighting game LARPer, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of MK9 in terms of that, like, fast, like, fluid feeling combos and, like, you gotta do it on the fly, whatnot and stuff. So, like, if you're into that kind of fighting games, I would recommend it. It is really fun, and it does seem like, well, we'll see how long it takes, because, like, unlike Invincible Versus, because I liked that game when it came out. I had a really fun time learning its mechanics. I feel like I was actually doing pretty decent in that game, whereas this game I didn't put that much time and effort into it yet. But even then, I feel like this game has more sauce, if that makes any sense. Invincible Versus, I feel like it's easier to pick up, and 3v3 fighting game, and there's all that kind of fun. But I feel like there's more sauce in this one, and it is really fun watching like people discover like who's overpowered and like what you can do that's fun and stuff in this game. And this game is still being like patched and worked on as we speak, so who knows? I really hope this game has a long longevity to it. Has a long history with it. Okay, boring shit now out of the way. Let's talk about the controversies. Dun dun dun. So, controversy number one that I think is kind of interesting, because when I talked about this in the Discord chat, Dawg didn't even know that the game came out. But what he did know is that he thought the game actually was delayed because of how big that controversy was.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. But the controversy,
tricked.
What happened was that the game came out, but for Xbox users, they have to wait till September. And that was already a big kind of like a red flag already. It's like, damn, like, didn't we just deal with this shit like with another fighting game that came out last year? That didn't set a really good precedent and stuff.
Was it announced like the day before the game was supposed to come out? Like, not even
That too.
It's like a
That too.
month out. It's been delayed by a month. No, it's like, hey, you excited to play the game tomorrow? Tough shit. Wait another month. You pre-ordered it already on this system? Tough shit.
On one hand, that is terrible. That is very annoying. On another hand, though, let's be fair. Not that many people are playing on Xbox right now. But it's bad. It's bad. I will say that. Then we have. That's not the only thing that is, unfortunately, I would say is controversial. The other thing that I want to bring up is, well, here is a small little announcement that I'll say. Well, first off, there's some good news that I think is kind of cute. Toga, the new character from Aang, Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender, is going to be a free character that they're going to add into the game. Like,
It's nice
this
that he's
year.
free.
So that's pretty cool. Without spoiling things yet, right? Because we'll talk about that after this. Without spoiling things, I was wondering, they're going to put it into the game. I wonder how they're going to make an airbender, like, unique. Because, like, there is Aang, there is Ahir, there is, like, some airbending stuff in the game. So how are they going to make him unique? You watch the movie, you'll be like, yeah, okay, they definitely can make a unique moveset for him. People in the comment section are saying, so is this going to be the Broly of Avatar? The movie version character and stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do with this character. But here's where things get a little bit controversial. So before the game came out, I'm sure we discussed this a tiny bit in the Discord chat too, but the last three characters aren't really finished. Like, there's actually some animations and some stuff about them that wasn't completely done. And especially, I'm especially disappointed with Nightmare Korra, because I remember last podcast we were like, yo, it'd be so cool to see her with the chains, see her like with her hair down.
The chains hang low.
Yeah, and all that stuff. But Nightmare Korra in the game feels much more just like a remix version of Korra, where it's like one of those like classic fighting games where it's like the character isn't like, they just swap a palette, but they have like some moves either come out faster, or like maybe the specials have like 3 of them instead of 1. Like, I don't know exactly if I'm thinking of the right one, but wasn't there like
Ken.
Huh?
Violent Ken, yeah, that's funny.
Stuff like that. The thing is, Nightmare Korra, her whole gimmick in the game right now is that she teleports. So just be like she'll just teleport next to you. That's her flow. Whereas regular Korra, she like runs up to you, slides. Nightmare Korra is teleporting like distance basically. So she's in that aspect, she is really fun to watch. But I do kind of feel a little unfortunate. That's like, we don't see her using the chain. We don't see her doing too many different things.
Her hair's not correct.
Yeah, that too. And for the other two characters, I don't really see it for Aang. I think Avatar State Aang is not bad. By the way, they have nicknames. So Nightmare Korra is called Nora, and Avatar State Aang is called Aang. Like a lot of A's, A, Avatars, A, N, G. It's like... He is about to leave. He's about to fucking leave after he heard that.
Sometimes I lose faith.
It should have been Aang and Aang.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Just to
Snake.
annoy fans of the series, because I know they get really mad about the pronunciation stuff in the Shyamalan movie, but it'd be really funny just to piss them off with that.
Just so you know, Snake, you're gonna love what's about to happen in the future because you made that joke. So just get ready for that. So Aang I think is a bit more okay, but people are saying that he's not too finished too. He's ironically, I don't know if you would if this is like what would like pass through your minds when you think of Avatar State Aang, but he is the premium game zoner. Like, he is just shooting those rocks, shooting them water, shooting, like, the wind, flying up, just keeps on, like, shooting rocks and shit. Like, that's, like, how you play the character, which is kind of funny. Also, I don't know if you've seen his level 3, but, like, so regular Aang's level 3 is the, like, Season 3 finale, like, Avatar State ability. But, so what's Avatar State Aang's level 3? Well, his level 3 is the Season 1 finale where he summons that giant water-like creature to like destroy the Fire Nation army in the water tribe. So it's kind of funny.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that the Season 3 version of Aang gets a Season 1 like attack, while the Season 1 version of Aang gets like the season finale ultimate.
You know, you got to pick and choose. Everyone's got to have something cool, I think is how I see that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool the way how it's animated. And as for Ozai, now Ozai actually has a lot of sauce. He's actually really cool to like watch and play because like depending on which variation you pick, actually changes him to like someone who has like really fast combos or a grappler. Like you can play him as a grappler and stuff like that. The thing is though, there are definitely some things about Ozai that is just it just straight up is not like completed animation. So you'd think like, okay, for this animation, you might want to run up or fly up, but instead he just sits there menacingly doing a pose, but then still is able to like move very fast and do a lot of crazy shits. It actually weirdly feels very classic fighting gamey. I'm gonna show you a clip by the way. I'm just gonna show you a clip here. I don't know if this.
Pull that up. I'm gonna use the restroom real fast, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, this is some Mugen shit.
Mugen, yeah. Pressure. I'm trying to find like the other one that's also really funny. I don't know why. It's got aura, weirdly enough, though. Just like the the way he's moving and shit.
So here's a question. When you have Avatar State Aang, he has moves from all 4 elements, right?
Yes.
Does he have any moves in common with the people who actually helped him master each bending style? Or is it all just completely original?
It's mostly what he does in the show. So like the giant air ball when he flies up, and then like he has the stuff surrounding him and whatnot.
Oh, it would have been really cool if the 3 variations, like the characters in the background would be each of his mentors from each style.
Do you want to know who they are?
As someone who didn't watch the show, I think it's Toph, Zuko, and I don't think is it Katara, or is it someone who teaches Katara at the end of season 1?
Well, it is Katara. It's like someone does teach Katara, but like Katara does eventually. Maybe I'm a LARPer here, but I remember it's kind of okay. Yes, the sensei was teaching Katara and Aang, but I could have sworn Katara also does teach Aang, like some parts too. Like they're practicing together.
Yeah.
But you might be right. Maybe it wasn't Katara. Ironically, though, like here's the interesting thing, because his supports are, well, it's Guru Lahimi. So the guy who lived like 300 years who's floating, who's like Zahir's #1 idol, basically. Guru Lahimi is in the background, and then it's Roku, and then it's Katara. So and it's a season 3 design of Katara. So it's like, okay,
whose backup is this?
Avatar State Aang's.
Katara is okay. Season 3 Katara.
Like the
is that
design.
because? I wonder if that's because is that when they almost kill her to try to trigger Aang's Avatar state? Like the Earthbenders pretend to kill her.
Season 2, perhaps. The main thing that I heard was basically the developers are like, so we want to put Katara here to tell everybody that just because they're in the background, that doesn't deconfirm the character. Like Katara was playable. So you see Katara here, but that doesn't deconfirm her from like ever being playable. Like I think that's one of the things that they were trying to get at, basically.
So Roku fans, don't worry, he's got a chance.
Indeed. Just if you wanna see also some of the insane fucking shit Ozai can do in terms of parrying, I do have some pretty funny clips that I've kind of like saved up and shit.
Oh, good. Hey, well, listen. Parry should work in all directions. You don't get to hit me. If I do a parry, get clapped.
Yeah. I can't find it here, but there is like literally like he has like his special flow movement that he does is literally just walking up to you very fast. It is that design, yes.
Okay.
He just like like it just walks up really fast like Ozai. It's like it's obviously not completed his character, but it does make it really funny. It does make it gives him some weird fighting game aura because of that. It's just like, oh, he defies the laws of physics because I guess he's the Phoenix King. I guess he is the final boss of the first season, so why not?
I feel we're being very lenient just because it's a new fighting game, but I will do so as well. I will be lenient on them.
That's the unfortunate thing about the game that I will. There are definitely some things that you can tell that the game is not finished with. I mean, like it says here, like I said, the announcement. 3 characters. It literally announced that Ozai, Avatar Aang, and Nightmare Korra are going to be adding new sprites and animation details. It's like they're admitting that's like we were rushed. Like we could not make it to the deadline. We have some stuff that we have not finished up. And when I talk about the story mode, there's also going to be some things in there that's like, oh, clearly this was not finished yet either, but they had to get the game out. And like, you know, so it's not the best precedent for Paramount Plus. And actually, that's the thing that people have been bringing up. It's like, damn, Paramount Plus actually does really fucking hate Avatar. It's like there's this Xbox delay, the game is in a complete state. It just has a couple of things that aren't finished, obviously, and they had to get the game out, unfortunately. And then like the fucking movie came out in a very, very, very unfortunate state of like getting leaked, and then just like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna release it on Paramount Plus. What's that? You guys want to watch in the theaters? Fuck you. We don't care. Paramount Plus.
I know, which is weird because the main series is on Netflix. So I'm like, who exactly owns the rights to?
Paramount Plus now, apparently, because they're also pushing the new Avatar stuff. And I mean, the new
And
Avatar
soon
show,
they will own everything.
True.
Soon.
True.
Unless that lawsuit wins, I don't know. We'll see.
And like even the new Avatar show is like coming out this October, which I'm looking forward to checking that out. Yeah, 20.
There's a new Avatar show.
Oh yeah, it's after Korra, like the Seven Heavens. And
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's really weird looking. Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes.
Well, it's a different studio, unfortunately. It's you know. Korra
No,
was
I just
2012.
mean the entire premise, right? Because Avatar prior had been about like, well, the first series was a war. This new one seems like they're battling like the Earth itself out of flux.
it's like an
there's
apocalypse
environmental
now.
disasters, there's like
Yeah.
apocalypse stuff, and they're framing Korra as like the big villain, which is hilarious.
It's very funny right
Yeah,
now.
that's-
seeing
You know they're
people out
gonna
there.
rug pull us, but still, it's funny.
It's gonna. Yeah, they're
That's
definitely.
what I was going to say is like once the show gets to that point, we find out what Korra's deal is. That design is probably going to make it into the game, alongside like adult
As a
Avatar
skit.
Aang from the movie. Not necessarily as a skin. It could be a completely different version, depending on what she does. Like maybe she's doing new shit with the bending. You know, maybe now she's like, oh, I'm metal bending and lava bending. Maybe she's doing
Snake,
all of the
Snake.
stuff, and she's like the ultimate villain of everything. Then it's like, no, she's not. She was framed because, of course, she was framed. They're not going to demonize her. That would give the people who hated the Korra show too much ammunition.
It would be very funny if they do demonize her. It's like, yeah, actually, it was her fault, and like validifying all the Korra hates. That would be very funny, but I just don't see them doing that. But back to what I was saying is like the rumor was it's like, oh, they're gonna release a show all at once, all 27 episodes. There you go, done, season done. Bye, have a nice day. And people are like, no, don't do that. Hello, don't do a freaking JoJo Part 6 again, guys. Hello. And now they're kind of saying is like, guys, we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do is I don't know what we're gonna fucking do. What were you saying? So yeah, the joke is like Avatar is kind of getting shit on by Paramount, unfortunately. So, but now controversy's out the way. Let's talk about some of the more funny part, which is now I get to do the Force Snake thing. I get to talk about Avatar, the Avatar Legends, the fighting games story mode, and I'm not kidding when I say this, Snake. This story mode feels like if MK versus DC, the plot was portrayed from a MK Onslaught perspective. So imagine a crazy plot like MK versus DC, but it's just like the characters walk on screen on the fighting game sprite. Aang, what is going on? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Kotara,
Very
you have to
Guilty
listen
Gear
to me.
style storytelling. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, is it like that too? Because like Guilty Gear
Yeah,
has the
Blaze Blue
cutscenes.
does
Are you
that
talking about
as
the
well.
original?
I'm pretty sure.
Ah,
Guilty Gear has a full story mode now, but back in the day they just walked into frame and had the little Blaze Blue's probably a better example. Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. it is kind of
Which is the most they can do. I understand. It's all hand drawn animation and stuff. So I get you can't really do that for the story mode.
That's one of the things I'm thinking about is because they're meant to be reworking Korra and whatnot. Nightmare Korra. So I'm thinking if these are sprites, so they need to redraw it. It's not just making a new model and replacing the old one. They have to redraw a bunch of the sprites if they're going to change the design at all.
Yes.
Yeah, which could be both easier and harder. I'm not sure. I've never heard about the process on that. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, they do. It is good anime. The sprites do look really good, and I there's like even a little detail that I do appreciate. It's because it's like every character, like every frame has to be drawn, and like Zuko was the one that was like the nightmare for them because they had to draw him twice because of like the scar being on a different side. So it's like, that's a lot.
Oh,
yes, that is a huge attention.
That's
to
funny
detail.
because they could have been lazy. Like, because for anyone watching not aware, for the longest time, fighting games would just mirror. They didn't care to like actually redo it for like Southpaw open versus like closed stance. So characters like Sagat, his eye patch would just switch eyes whenever he flips sides for the longest time, and nobody really cared. It was only super egregious with like Injustice 2 Hellboy because he has that giant gauntlet on his hand, and that would switch. And it was really weird that it kept switching arms.
Yeah. Well, we understand why that's done. I mean, like Spencer does that in Marvel vs. Capcom because of his big robot armor. I don't think that happens with Bucky in Infinite. I could be wrong, but I mean the reason they do it is because obviously these attacks are tied to the big fist. It'd be really weird if the animation flipped and it's like, oh, Hellboy's punching you with his tiny baby man hand instead of the big devil gauntlet thing. So it makes sense, but because they don't allow characters to like face away from the camera because you need to have clarity. So that's the way they chose to go. Was if you go and look at like a 3D fighter, like a Tekken or a DOA, they don't do that. It's just the character's got a thing on the right hand. They're going to use the right hand no matter what.
Yeah, indeed. Story mode is like 3 to 4 hours, so I will summarize it a bit easier. I don't know how far you want me to get, but I'll just start it off like a bit more simpler. So
if you want to avoid spoilers, go to the timestamp that I've put here to avoid spoilers on this section.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys don't really care about spoilers, right? Because it's the thing is, this is a really shitty story mode, but it's very funny at parts, so that's why I was entertained by it. But essentially, this plot starts off with like Aang being like, "Where the fuck am I? What's going on here?" Katara, hey, you gotta tell me what's going on here. And Katara's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And it's like, oh no, everybody who's on the playable roster has been altered. They don't know who they originally are, and only Aang is like from their original world who like knows what's going on. So they fight because there are like so many fights in this game that are like, we must fight now. No, we don't understand. I'm on your side. They fight, and it's like, guys, I'm just trying to calm you down. Oh, you're just trying to calm me down. Oh, that's why. Okay, why don't we talk a bit? And then like
I'm already triggered.
You must be for the enemy, and there's a lot of that happens. Anyways, so Aang fights Katara, and then Aang's like, guys, I'm Katara, it's me. Don't you remember me? I'm Aang. And then Katara's like, sorry, what was your name again? Aang? Like, what's your name and stuff like that? Oh
no.
And then basically,
but we kissed.
It leads to one of the best like screenshots that you may have seen on Twitter.
Ong.
Thanks, Shinnok.
Yeah.
Read right there, Ong.
Dawg, there is something literally like that happens in the game. I'm going to talk about it just a bit. So,
thanks, Ozai. And it's like, Katara.
Thank you, Firelord Ozai, said Katara. And you're like...
You're not far off, by the way. You're not fucking far off, but you'll see it. By the way, someone replied being like, wait right here, on God. But yeah, so basically what happens in the plot is like Katara's like, what do you mean you're Aang the Avatar? We already have an avatar called Avatar Kyoshi. And then Kyoshi shows up like, who the fuck is this child? Who the fuck is this sassy child like the One Punch Man?
Yeah, exactly, who is this sassy child?
And then because another misunderstanding happens, you have to fucking fight Kyoshi. And then Kyoshi's down, and it's like, oh no, Ba Sing Se is under siege and attacked by the Conqueror, Toph. And Toph shows up, wow, I'm gonna conquer Ba Sing Se. And then you stop her too, basically. So basically what's happening here is Kyoshi is the Avatar, Katara's working for her, Toph is the Conqueror fighting around. Sokka has become a legendary guru who's like this enlightened spirit who gives like advices, and it's like traveling through spirits and realms. He's like a magical Iroh in this world for some fucking reason. And then Zahir shows up and is like, I am here with my special airbending abilities, and we, the Red Lotus, are gonna be the best pro bending team ever, guys. Have you heard about pro bending? What a fun sports guy. We're gonna show everybody how great the airbending stuff is with pro bending and with my team, guys. And he literally flies all the way to Ozai's Fire Throne and it was like, Phoenix King, I'm here to ask for your sponsorship for our pro bending team. And the best plot line that happens here is in Republic City, Korra walks up to Zuko and Azula, and Zuko says, you need to stay away from our family, Korra. You're a bad influence on Azula. Azula, the sensitive girl, you are giving her a bad influence. And Korra's like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. Punches Zuko, and then punches Azula. And it's like, you know what, your family is not gonna stop me from being friends with Azula. And then like walks up to like Ozai and punches the shit out of him. So I'm not even joking.
God.
There's literally like this whole Azula and Korra situational ship happening in the plot. It's like, Korra, please, don't hurt my brother. Also, Azula is the more sensitive one, and Zuko is the more betrayal evil one in the story mode. So,
For Pete's sake.
and the most entertaining thing, by the way, Ozai is just straight up a good guy in this story mode. He's like, my family is fighting again. I must quell this with my ultimate power, where I'm trying to help everyone and save the world. And it's like, what the fuck? Wait, Ozai, what? Okay, Ozai in the original show is meant to be like this threatening character that's like, he's not really there, but his presence is the threat because like Aang has to fight him, and that's the threat throughout the entire show, and he only shows up in season 3, right? So, but because of that, he doesn't get too much development throughout the show. So weirdly enough, he gets a lot of silly development in this game, where he's just straight up a good guy, and he's straight up trying to do the good things to like help his nation, and people are like showing up, and he's like, you are not a good influence on Azula, so I must fight you. So to boil it down, by the way, to make it like simpler, as the story goes on, as the misunderstandings happening, as like the what the fuck is going on ism is happening, the original characters start to slowly remember who they are. They gotta look inwards, and Katara's like, oh my gosh, I'm Katara actually. This is who I am, and Toph has to find out who she is. Zuko eventually finds out who he is, and blah blah blah. So as this plot goes on, the characters eventually remember who they slowly are, and they're like, we're brought into this weird place because of the harmonic convergence. This plot line actually legit reminds me of Invincible Versus, where like the characters aren't who they are, and they're like, where are we? What's going on? That kind of a thing. So there is that similarity. And also what's really funny is like, okay, we find out who we really are, so that way we can handle a way to get out of here. But then they were saying like, wait a second, should we let Zahir, Azula, and Ozai remember who they are? Because this is not like a bad thing, because right now they're good guys. Should we make them remember who they are? And like, sure enough, Azula later on remembers who she is, but due to some sort of like manipulation shenanigans going on, because Ozai is working with the real villain of this entire like behind the scenes, so Azula was like remembers who she is, but then she manipulates good guy Ozai and is like, Father, I would like some power, please. And then Father is like, okay, I'm gonna help you, give you more power. And now we have enhanced Azula, who becomes like a big giant threat, and like Toph and Zuko have to find a way to stop her. And they find Guru Sokka, who has these magical powers too. So we have Guru Sokka with the golden outfit fighting against enhanced Azula with like this new blue like
Sokka?
sprites and shit like that fighting against each other. And it's a mess. It is. I am trying my best to remember what happens, because unfortunately, in my opinion, the biggest issue with this is, unlike Invincible Versus, this goes on for 3 to 4 hours, and it's not as entertaining. It's not like cutscenes, so I'm half entertained, and I'm also.
So you meant Sokka? I just wanted to make sure. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was
Guru
confused when you said Sokka. I was very confused for a second.
Making sure I'm getting that right. So it's just a lot of like text. There's voice acting at least, so you can hear them like talking and stuff. But it does get to a point where I'm like, okay, we are kind of dragging the plot at some points and whatnot. It is kind of getting annoying. But then once in a while, they'll shove something really hilarious. Like, for example, one really cute plot that happens is like Zahir slowly finds out that apparently he wasn't a good person, because Korra sees Zahir and is like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And Aang defends Zahir and is like, no, yeah, that's Guru Sokka, by the way. And Aang is like, no, but like he's a true nomad. He's actually being a really good person. And Zahir is like I am trying to be a good person, but maybe in real life I was not a good person, so I want to stay here and stuff like that. So it becomes like this, oh, he wants to stay here because he doesn't want to be a bad guy anymore, kind of a plot line. And then later on it's like, oh, Ozai stays a good guy for a very long time in the plot, by the way. Like straight up, here's the screenshot I wanted to show you guys. He's like, guys, I'm trying to help you. I can give you more power and help out and shit like that. And he literally like apologizes to Team Avatar and is like, I was a fool back in the day, but now I am a better person and stuff like that. It leads to this legendary screenshot. The fucking Phoenix King, Fire Lord Ozai, saying, I'm sorry, Aang.
Just the
I like
idea that
Aang's face too.
he beats 3 avatars up. Like, oh, get the fuck down. And he goes, I'm sorry that I had to do this.
It's and I'm not even kidding. It's a good thing that he does that because the whole plot is like, we're trapped in this place. How do we get out of here? We got to beat the shit out of each other. That kind of a fucking stuff that happens. Also, here's something that I want to mention that's unfinished as fuck. You see Ozai like that doing that pose? That's a stance he has. I have no idea if he can do that with regular Ozai, but for straight up like half the story mode, you gotta fight this enhanced flying Ozai that all he does is he flies around in that same pose, shoots fireballs at you from the sky, and he has armor. And you gotta do that like 5 times in the story mode. It is the most annoying shit ever. And that's what I meant by like a little bit incomplete animations. It's like, okay, clearly he's supposed to be flying or whatnot, but he just does this PNG, floats around, shoots fireballs for like so long. It's the most annoying shit ever if you all want to experience it. And then also there are actually stages in the story mode that don't make it into the final game, so you can only have like the spirit realm in the story mode. There is I forgot what it's called, but do you know in Republic City there is an air temple built there? It's like Tenzin's home.
Well,
from the show Korra, remember that, Dawg?
Say again, Tenzin's home. Sorry, I was reading a review thing.
In Republic City, there is like Tenzin's home, like the air temple.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a stage in the game, in the story mode.
Cool.
But it is only in the story mode. You can only.
No! I hate story mode exclusives.
And the thing is, it's also incomplete. You can look at the background, and it's just a drawing. It's like, oh, you see like the monks in the background. You see a little cute
modders, you know what to do.
Creatures, but they're not moving. They're just like, it's just a painting because all the other stages are. So it's like an incomplete stage, but they still had to put it in because the Avatar characters like freaking run around like shit and whatnot. Go from the Northern Water Tribe all the way to the library to Ba Sing Se to Republic City, like all within one chapter basically. So they just added that as a stage basically for you to run around and stuff. But yeah, it's a mess, and like I said, it just feels like I'm recapping like an Onslaught story plot. I'm not sure how. Do you guys want to know the ending, or do you think I should just stop here? Because like I feel like I've kind of given you guys a general thought of like what's going on with this story.
I mean, I'm probably not going to play the story mode. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys want to hear that? Okay. So the true villain of this entire plot was Cabbage Man.
Oh my god! So this is one big fanfic.
I'm not. It is
this whole story mode,
but it's not necessarily Cabbage Man. It's Cabbage Man's vendetta against Team Avatar because they keep screwing him over. So because of that, he has been influenced by the dark forces known as Vaatu.
Oh my god.
So that's the true
Vaatu
villain.
Cabbage Man.
Vaatu uses Cabbage Man to capture everybody here and send them to the spirit realm. So the final boss of the game is you got to fight this gigantic Vaatu in the background, but it's Nightmare Korra, who is like red. And she doesn't have new moves, but while fighting, all of a sudden Vaatu will like shoot lasers at you, and you gotta like freaking block it or dodge it, like the flow state and shit like that. And then once you defeat Vaatu, everybody says their final goodbyes, and they all get sent back home. And you kind of get a little prologue of like Korra being like, Mako, Bolin, Asami, you won't believe what I just went through. And then like Kyoshi will be like, what, did that just happen? I must prepare for my successors then. And then Aang goes back to the water tribe being like, oh wow, that was a crazy thing that just happened. Yippee! And that's the end of the story mode basically.
I was completely on board until you said who the real villain was, because that's fucking dumb. That's too much of a meme. The whole concept of change up the character's personality sounds really funny.
It was really funny. That was one of the most entertaining parts of the game.
Maybe fans of the show would rather the character just be in character the whole time. So maybe it's just because I'm not someone who watches the show. I can be like, oh, this is just a funny concept.
Yeah.
I feel like that ending kind of ruins it.
The annoying thing also is like the game kind of implies that you were gonna fight Cabbage Man. By the way, the game randomly will have NPCs show up, like your variants, and when they show up, they don't have any voice acting, and it's just a PNG file. So it's like Zahir will be like, "Hey, my Red Lotus, are you ready to fight?" And then Minghua will just be PNG, yes, and Pali will be like, let's go. And it's just like a PNG file floating there. It was the same with Cabbage Man. He's just there like floating. But then like there was a part where he becomes like evil Cabbage Man, like possessed by Vatsu a little bit, and he was floating with like a cabbage like floating on his hand. So I was like, was this supposed to be like a sub boss or something like that? Was Cabbage Man supposed to be playable? This is how they're gonna make Cabbage Man playable or some shit. I wouldn't have minded if this was the excuse to make Cabbage Man playable. But again, it's just a PNG file, so it's just kind of like, okay, it's the joke is that Cabbage Man has such a vendetta against Aang, so like this whole shit happened. By the way, when that happened, Aang's like, sorry, the guy who I don't even remember, which was kind of funny when that happened. But yeah, it is.
Oh,
like, okay.
that's great. Cabbage Man goes, "You took everything from me," and Aang goes, "I don't even know who you are."
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. It's like he literally says, sorry? Like question mark? It's like, uh-huh. But it is Vatsu as the main villain, to be fair. He even says, "No, Korra, you can't defeat me again." He literally says that. It was pretty funny. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I get the joke, but it should have been a fake villain twist. Like the real villain happens after the Cabbage Man. The fact that he is actually the villain is going too far with the name.
Vatsu is the main villain. It's just the Cabbage Man is kind of their...
That still counts. That's too much.
Fair. To me, at least, when I walked into this, I already knew it was going to be a shitty story mode anyways, but how entertaining was it was the important thing. And I will say for the half of it, like, there was a majority of things that I was definitely entertained. Like, there was this one scene where it's like, fuck, Azula is too strong after she's been enhanced. What do we do? Don't worry, I'm going to, like, find... Toph's like, I'm going to go find Guru Sokka to, like, help us with this. And then, like, Toph goes back to defeated Zuko, being like, we did it. I got to someone to help out. And Zuko's like, who'd you find? Sokka. Zuko's like, he's never gonna let that down on me. He's never gonna let that go on me. And Toph is like, what do you think about me? I fucking found it. I went to look for his help. What do you think about me? Which is, so some small things like that were pretty funny. I was entertained by like little things like that, but it dragged at places which did make it kind of annoying. So it's still like a 3 to 4 hour story mode experience if y'all want to experience it. But you know, again, no cutscenes. It's just like fighting game sprite characters with voice acting. And I don't know how entertaining y'all would be with it, but it definitely is on a lower echelon of story modes. But I actually was entertained, even though I would say it's still a shit story mode.
To be fair, there's not a lot they could have done given the small roster and the fact that they are pulling from multiple eras, which are mostly like have very like Korra has what 2 characters, 3?
Yep. Zahir and Korra, and I guess Nightmare Korra, if you want to be
so
specific.
like you can't build much out of that unless you go, oh well, here's a story with time travel or something stupid like that. The options were limited, so this was the right way to go about it. The whole weird dream thing where everyone's.
I while playing it, I was constantly being like, okay, what can they do next? What's the next angle they can do? And for an hour, they do keep on escalating, and do keep on doing weird ass shit like. Okay and stuff. Also, there's some like I told you, like in terms of like things that they have done for multiversal weird shenanigans, like Azula being friends with Korra and like having a situationship was really funny. Zahir being a genuine good guy throughout the story. Ozai being a good guy throughout most of the thing until the very end when he finally remembered himself. There was a really weird and poetic line he says when it's like he remembers himself. He's like, "You don't understand. I'm not a nice person. I'm already a pretty dark person inside, so when Vatsu made it even darker, now I'm just a void." I'm like, bars, what the fuck? I was like, okay, Ozai?
I am 14 and this is deep. I have become the void.
It's like there are stuff, but it's just like I said, there are also some parts that just become way more a little too dragged on. I saw that. That's so like Ozai is a troll in this game, and it's kind of funny. I just
like the memes he puts in the video.
Until they update his character, he's kind of a troll in terms of like animations way, and I kind of love it.
I laughed how his super in the corner, because it hits like in too many spots, I guess, does an absurd amount of damage. His super in the corner does like 75%, and it just says on screen, Azula players will tell you this doesn't need to be patched. Because they want her dad to be OP.
This video is great though, so you guys can watch it later. But yep, overall, if you actually like Snake whenever he talks about onslaught, you want to experience that in the fighting game, pick up Avatar: The Legends, the fighting game story mode. Well, speaking of Avatar, I think we can lead into our next conversation.
You call it a conversation.
About the movie?
Really, it's just you talking at a brick wall, and we're just like, yes, go on. Yeah.
Oh, now you know how we feel when we listen to Onslaught. And I enjoy Onslaught whenever you talk about it.
I mean, overall, I'll say my final thoughts real quick. I think it's cute they tried something new, and I'm glad that Snake likes it. But if I had played the game and I learned the story mode is just everyone not acting like themselves and losing all their memory instead of getting a bunch of like canonical feeling interactions, I'd feel very upset.
Well,
I don't like this fan
remember...
fiction, nothing matters scenario.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is a nothing matters fan fiction.
I think the hope is because the story mode is clearly so cheap. Because, you know, is there even voice acting for most of the story, or is it just text?
Yes. Everybody who is playable has voice. And then Cabbage Merchant and Vatu and some other minor characters.
Yeah. So I think because the story mode is clearly so cheap to make it, they're not doing these big motion captured cinematics and whatnot. I think the hope would be that once they've got a few seasons worth of extra characters in, they could try and make a story mode that's actually more, here's going through the events of the show, like the old Budokai games on PS2.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how great that would be in this format either. To me, I actually think the story mode would have benefited so much if the DLC characters were added into it, like Iroh or Amon and stuff like that. I think that would have made it like much more interesting, like to see more of that. Again, I'm interested in the fan fiction-y, like weird shit that's happening. I want to be entertained.
We're depressed Uncle Iroh. Oh wait, that's the Netflix version.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zuko being an extra big asshole to him too for some reason.
It's so
Like,
it's so funny.
Your
Zuko is being an extra
your
asshole.
son died. It's your fault. You should feel bad.
And then Iroh is like, "You're right. It's all my fault. You need to just be who you want to be, Zuko, asshole. Just be the asshole. Be the villain you want to be." Iroh
No,
says
Aang,
to him, like,
don't stop being an asshole. Be yourself, an asshole.
Yes,
It's
literally.
weird too because like that scene that we're talking about, I think where he's so mean to him, like in the fields when they were doing like the peasant farming, like that was. I remember telling my girlfriend, I was like, this scene, they're trying to add nuance and they keep messing it up because this takes place after season 1, I'm guessing, right?
Season 2.
So.
Yeah. They're running away.
But what happened in season 1? Did they do the whole assault on the North and all that yet, or no? Like the North Water Tribe and all that.
And then they failed, and then season 2 started with Azula being like,
Okay, so I wanted to make sure. I didn't know if it lined up correctly or if the Netflix series is taking its time and really like being slow with it. So it is lined up.
Yeah.
So this means we should have already had that interaction, though I think they skipped over it in the live action. But in the cartoon, before Zuko begins his like very dangerous mission to capture the Avatar behind the walls of the North Water Tribe, Uncle Iroh straight up says, "Zuko, I see you as my own," and he's like, "I know, Uncle." So the idea of them having this like huge beef argument when they're like the peasant farmers makes no sense, and for him to be that big of a dick, like, because at this point they already have the father-son dynamic pretty closely. That's why even when Zuko is mad in the cartoon at this point, he still kind of like is like, I'm trying to have patience with Uncle. Like I'm trying. Like he opens a tea shop. I'm trying to be a tea shop owner. I'm trying. It's just not fun for me, but I'm trying.
Also in the Netflix show when he says it's like, you got to stop doing your stupid jokes. I can't take them anymore. It's like, what jokes? Iroh never cracked the fucking joke this season. What are you talking about, Zuko?
Also, see, we're getting too off topic, but also isn't there? Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Snake. Go ahead.
I think it'd be really funny if the game would come out a few years later once the Netflix show is over, and then it's like no longer unprofessional to just kind of make fun of it, and then the weird alternate characterizations in the game, in the story mode, are based on the show. So it's like Katara's like, "Zuko, what do you mean you stole food from a pregnant, like a woman with a baby? But why would you do that? That's evil. what the fuck?" And he's like, "It's like, well, you know, it's what I do apparently."
The funniest thing about that, by the way, is like there's an after context. It's like throughout that entire episode in the original show, he helps out people on the way. And that's where he helps. That's why he decides not to steal the food from the pregnant lady. But in the show, he steals the food from the pregnant lady, but then still helps out all the people anyways. So it's like, what the fuck was the point of that?
You see, it's nuance. We're adding nuance to the character. You see, he's more dynamic now. And it's like, well, he already stole the bird in the cartoon. That was kind of bad. But it's also like he needed to do that. It was a dick move.
Yes, you see the reasoning for that instead of just, I am evil. I do what I want.
Yeah. Exactly. Plus, I think it's all out of order too. Like it's all out of order. They did the Serpent's Pass and stuff, and I'm like, wait, isn't Toph supposed to be with them at this point? We're doing the Serpent's Pass before Toph?
We're doing the Serpent's Pass while Appa is still around. That's the whole fucking point why they needed to do the Serpent's Pass, because they don't have Appa.
That's true. He can just fly. That's true. It makes no sense. Like, how do you have more writers and you make more mistakes? Because there's so many like plot holes by jumbling stuff around. This wasn't supposed to be in the script, by the way, everybody. This was not on our list of things to talk about, but here we are just dogging on live action Avatar.
I don't know if these are all just like common critiques that this season of the show has gotten, but all these points were made in a recent Drew Gooden video that I watched, and I'm wondering if you two watched it as well.
Exactly. Yes, I watched it. That's why.
I did not.
Snake. Yes, I watched it too,
go.
Snake. Yes, that's why I'm able to say these. I watched his, and I watched another couple of them, but like Drew Goodman's one was the one. That's why I'm emphasizing here. Yes. I mean, Drew
I'm
Goodman
just
the GOAT.
confused. Another thing I noticed too, like, so it's funny. My girlfriend and I were trying to watch one episode of season 2. She didn't see season 1. She's just curious because she's like, "Oh, I'll try like watching one
Okay.
episode." And she despises the live action, but she's also making like astute observations, like, "This is not Azula because I didn't call her a cunt within like 10 seconds of meeting her."
And
And I'm like, yeah, they're trying to make Azula way too empathetic in the live action, or like not as much of a bitch, where she's supposed to be like deliciously evil, like hilariously evil. But
With that
also
being
I thought
said,
like,
though-
wait, I'm confused though, because I think right now Ozai is sending her to like get Zuko or something, but I'm thinking, wait, isn't she the reason? Like, she's supposed to reveal to Zuko that they're outcasts, and that's supposed to be why they're in hiding. So why are they in hiding before she even reaches out to him? It doesn't make any sense. Do they just assume that they're
Oh,
they're
that did that in
outcasts?
live action like that. I see. That's funny. Because
So I'm
like you said,
do they just
it's really
assume
early
that they're
season two.
outcasts? Because that's a good reveal in the show, because his sister betrays him. Like, the first interaction we get between Zuko and Azula when they're like, present day, is her backstabbing the shit out of him. It does a really good job establishing who she is, like their relationship with Zuko and Iroh and all that. It's great.
Yes.
Why are they ruining it?
Exactly. I'm sorry. Did you want to see her be evil? Did you know that she actually just like kills Judy in the live action version now to get the attention of the Dai
With
Li?
fire. Like, it's not she's not just like thrown off a wall or something, so she goes dead. It's like fire, because this show is edgy trash. It appears.
Why would they kill
Oh,
Judy?
she kills that
what the fuck?
Which is actually kind of dumb, because it was creepier that she got replaced. So that they're kind of like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
they're undercutting it. Yeah, they're doing it all wrong. It's actually embarrassing how bad they are at retelling a story that's already good. And I understand, like, you don't want to do it one-to-one, even though that's what fans want, and you're stupid for changing it. I understand you don't want to do it one-to-one because it's already out there, it's already made. But it's just hilarious seeing them make all these changes that they pat themselves in the back and go, "Oh, we're smart for doing this. We're making it better." And every time they make it worse, including Zuko almost beating Ozai in the Agni Kai. That was hilarious too. I was like, what? The whole point is that Zuko doesn't fight back. Another big point is that Zuko was not a prodigy. Azula was. Zuko was embarrassingly bad at firebending. He only got better through like literally being banished and having to learn. It's also probably implied that Iroh's the better teacher.
Oh yeah.
So that's why he also got better. But they're ruining all of this. Like, it was just one thing with just one addition.
I will actually make the argument that, like, if Avatar were to do its live action like adaptation, I would want to see some differences compared to the original show. But of course, I want it to be fucking good. But the thing is, if they do it one for one, it's like, I get it. It's like you want to keep the great stuff, and like that's what makes the original show great. But at the same time, if it is one for one, then it'd be like a Moana situation. It'd be like, okay, then what's the point?
If you're going to change things, you need to understand why these things were the way they were to begin with. So that you're not just going, well, this is different for no real reason, and you don't realize that just makes everything worse. It's not just like a small detail. Like, one that was observed was the fact that they moved things around. So Appa shouldn't be here when they're going over the dangerous mountains, and that's also why Aang is such a moody bitch at that time, because he's lost his friend.
Yeah,
as opposed to
exactly.
He's still here. Aang is just a prick in the live action version. Like, you need to understand the source material, and they don't.
Oh, Aang is a moody bitch throughout the entire show.
We lost a really good moment with Toph too, because when you first meet Toph, she's so capable that you almost think she's like this invincible being. So that Serpent's Pass scene is so good because she refuses to walk on the ice because she can't see on it. And it's one of those few moments where she actually is blind, and like you as a viewer are like, oh, this is like adorable in a sad way, because she's like so terrified of walking where she can't see, because then she's actually blind. So like any regular person, she's scared to go into the dark. Plus, there's a giant sea monster and shit. So you missed that vulnerable moment now. They fucked that. You also missed the hilarious scene where Suki saves her and she thinks that it's Sokka, and it reveals that she has like a crush on Sokka.
My hero!
Yeah, and after it's revealed, she goes, "Oh, you can let me drown." She's like so embarrassed by it. And that leads to like several little tiny jokes throughout the show where she still is kind of crushing on Sokka, but it's very subtle. Because the writers were actually really good at subtlety back then. It was done super well. So we lost all that by then simply restructuring that in the wrong way. And it's like, they thought it was a good decision. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. And you're just like, oh yeah, Sokka even spoils the monster showing up. Because in the original cartoon, it's called the Serpent's Pass because of how it looks. It's like a snake, like on the map, right? And you as the viewer assume that. Someone maybe even says that. But then in the live action version, Sokka or someone straight up says, well, it's called Serpent's Pass. I wonder if a giant snake's going to show up. And then it does, and he just goes, told ya. And I'm like, this joke sucks. You ruined the reveal. I hate you all. Like, it's so much funnier in the original when it's like, oh, is that also why they call it Serpent's Pass? Because it's like a giant monster here?
Beware of reptile's giant snake.
Exactly. Oh my God. Like, there's so many reasons to dislike the show without even roasting the acting, which is also very bad.
Let's move on to, I hope I'm going to be right about this, something better. Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender movie, which me and Dawg watched and Snake did not. So we won't go into too much spoilers, but...
to be clear, I would have watched it for the sake of the podcast. However, it's only on Paramount Plus, and I don't have Paramount Plus. And I could not be asked trying to track down some kind of pirate site just to watch it that way. So
there's no free trial or anything.
I mean, there probably is, but like, I don't want to set up another fucking streaming service. There's too many of them.
Gotcha. That's why you want to download Rocket Money. And no, we're not sponsored, but Rocket Money is just great for keeping track of your subscriptions that you forgot to get rid of.
Cut this out. Cut it. No.
But yeah, we're holding it hostage until we get that sponsor, baby.
If you want to sponsor us, we're not going to say no.
Oh, indeed, yes.
I should do that, low-key. I should find like tiny sponsors that we can do during the podcast just for fun, like little ones.
That could be
Gamer subs, code DAWG.
It just occurred to me.
Use code DAWG.
The podcast doesn't have a place people can contact about possible sponsorship to do with. Like, there's no email.
I usually just put it in the title. Anyway, topic over. So I will say my first review of this is a quick thing. We're gonna go into a depth, obviously, but the first bad thing I can say about the Avatar Aang movie is my girlfriend couldn't finish it, and she had just watched the whole original series with me, and she's like, She gets really quiet and like distant whenever she's watching a show or film she doesn't like, because she's too rude to like say I don't want to watch this. And so I pause it and I'm like, you're not feeling it, huh? And she's like, the voices are all wrong. They're acting a lot out of character. And she's like, this is ruining the original show for me because it doesn't feel like it. And I'm like, I agree with everything. I will finish it myself because I have to. Like, I just have to see this movie through.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I will say that the main saving grace the film has is the animation, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But even that has some error issues though, because like sometimes it's too well animated and you like legit can't tell what's happening, or it's too fast and the camera's doing a lot of flippy, spinny stuff, which again, I appreciate how hard that is to do. But when you rewatch the original show, you appreciate how little the camera moves. It's just in one spot for the most part, because it appreciates that the characters themselves are doing the cool things, not the camera. Stop zooming in.
The camera does that one spot.
How do I turn this shit off? Is it right here?
It's Dawg, the last camera bender.
The last camera bender, yeah. So, and also I saw someone point out a thing that I had issue with too, which is originally Avatar did a cool job blending, of course, an obvious anime-inspired style, but with some of the Western stuff mixed in too, like the eyes and stuff looked more like Western. Whereas in the Avatar Aang movie, everyone has like a very similar generic anime eye shape, and that did bother me.
I've
they
heard
lost
about
all
that
their
too,
original
like
facial features and stuff, and I was like, damn, they look kind of homogenized, which bothered me a bit. The animation is still amazing though, and I feel bad because you can tell they knew that they were going to be the saving grace, and they leaned super hard into it. Even little things like Sokka just like freaking out has so much animation put into it, and I'm like, they put in all this effort. Sadly, the voices just don't sound the same, so it takes you out. There's a really emotional scene towards the end when a character shows up in someone's head, and it should be a really emotional scene, but his voice was wrong. And so I was immediately taken out of it. I was like,
You remember Gyatso's voice or Aang?
it was Gyatso.
You remember
yeah,
Gyatso's voice from the show?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember Gyatso. No, I'm not
He speaks
disagreeing
so
with you.
softly. And then in the movie, he's like this deep voice guy. I was like, what?
Oh, you know what? You just watched the show again, so maybe you have a better memory of that. Because obviously, the original voice cast is very memorable. Of course, I love those voices. And even the voices that are in the Avatar Legends fighting game, for the most part, they got great voices. Like, I couldn't even tell Azula was not the same voice actress. And stuff
They didn't hire Daphne? Damn it all. But okay.
They hired Sue Storm from Marvel Rivals, so I think that's okay.
Okay. I always laughed at the Daphne joke because she was supposed to the funniest memes on Twitter that would trigger people. My favorite one being, I want a woman who's a Daphne in the streets, but an Azula in the sheets. That was hilarious. That's still one of the best tweets of all time.
Yeah. Like, I get it. I get if you are annoyed by the voice cast because, like, they are, like, all different. And also, but from someone who just rewatched the show again, and I can kind of understand that. It wasn't the biggest issue for me just because, like, it's been a while since I've watched the show. But I'm not out here being like, yo, these guys nailed it out of the park. They're fine for the most part. I'm actually mostly, Toph was the one that took
Aang's
me
a
out of it for
K-pop
the
star,
most part.
apparently.
They are?
Yeah, Aang's a K-pop star, which I guess he's just a celebrity casting.
This I didn't know about.
Toph to me, that's interesting because I thought Toph was the one that was
okay,
almost
wait.
there.
Toph
but the
is
problem is that she
good,
didn't
it's
act
just
correct.
When she shouts,
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have
Yeah.
shouted. I don't know why that part is the word, but she is good,
Well,
I think, for the most part.
They didn't get her personality correct either in the movie. I don't know why it's so hard to remember Toph's personality, but they never get it correct. They just make her way too. They take her up to 11, which she does sometimes do in the show, but not like always. Whereas in the Avatar Aang movie, she's just always in the silly mode. But
I mean, she also just constantly, like, is... silly mode? I don't know. I think it's more like berating mode, actually, if that makes any sense. If you want to be, like, specific.
I don't know how to describe it, but like, because in the original show, they all have nuance. But Toph would sometimes be the one who would point out that everyone was missing the obvious stuff happening because she's, blind and a listener. She's also able to tell when you're lying, but that never comes up in the movie. Because she would have been able to spot that.
A specific reasoning, you would need to know that specifically, now that you're bringing that up. I don't know. To me, the original Avatar show is kind of 10 out of 10. You're never going to be able to recapture that magic completely. So for this to be...
Well, yeah, of course not. I wasn't expecting that, yeah.
Yeah, this was literally like a My Hero Academia movie version of like the show. That's how I really do see
Very
it.
much so. Very much so.
They're going on their adventures. The gang's back together after being gone for like almost... If you're talking about show like time-wise, it has been 20-ish years. So it's like, to me, that magic was special to be just seeing them hanging out together again, doing cool shit. Maybe a little too cool, obviously, because like the movie budget is very high and like the animation is a little too fluid.
It's a bit of both.
And whatnot.
It's a bit of both. Because I liked how Moist Critical brought up how the animation is pretty, but the characters themselves come off as nerfed sometimes. Outside of the cool stuff they do. Like Katara does a biblical level feat at one point, which was kind of hilarious. It was cool, but also I'm like, can't she do this? I don't think she's as good.
It's been 20 years. I feel like some characters are able to grow. You know what I mean? Like they might be.
Because she does legit Avatar Aang level waterbending in that one part. I was
thought
like,
she was gonna die
when
she did that. I was like, wait, this is a little too like you're in a very dangerous.
Just has a
space.
stroke.
You know what I mean? They have to like save her and stuff like that. What's it called?
She has to have her girl boss moment. Come on, she gotta be cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how not to spoil this because it's like I'm being very.
I think we should just go full spoiler. Fuck it.
Okay, Snake. If you're
Timestamp.
you're gonna timestamp this, Snake. Just to be
spoiler
very quickly,
on screen. Big stamp.
The last timestamp bender.
Yeah. If we want to talk about this, the harmonic convergence, how could you? If you want to talk about this movie, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Taga. Because Taga is the new character who does show up in the movie. And it's like, okay, well, what's his deal? And I feel like he's not bad, but he's not also... He does also come off... He turns heel a little too quickly, perhaps.
And also when it makes no sense. There's no advantage for him to do it there. There's no reason for him to, drop the act. Because what he wanted was happening. There was literally no reason to drop the act yet. The problem is the writers needed him to raise the tension.
But also, like, again, Katara confronts him, so that during that scene, it's like,
So?
okay, I guess it's time for me to go full off. And also, I want to also mention, that's probably my favorite fight scene, is Team Avatar fighting against Togga. Or they're desperately trying to, like, handle this, like, incredibly powerful airbender in that scene. Like, animation I was really into that. Like, when Katara freezes Sokka's sword to, like, and Sokka slashes Togga, I'm
Boomerang.
like, okay, that's... Boomerang, thank you. That kind
I wish it was a sword. They forgot he has a sword. The writers kind of forgot
his sword
about.
dropped, remember?
Yeah, but you tell me after all this time he never got a new sword when he went through that whole arc of sword training to become a samurai-esque guy because that was what made him on par with the rest of Team Avatar is that he had the boomerang and the swordsmanship skills. You're telling me he never got a sword back after all this time? That was a huge character moment for him.
He does use it in the comics from what I recall, but like it's not like the core is the boomerang for him.
I don't give a shit about the comics, by the way. Those are bad.
The comics are really good, so
those.
fuck you.
The comics are not really good. They come off as like fan fiction, and they're missing like the third writer who made the show good.
I think if they made the comics animated, that would be the best direction they could take for the original crew, like the characters.
Well, to give the listeners an idea of the comics real quick, there's a scene where Toph has a challenge with another guy to be the leader of a metal bending school or something like that. And do you know what the challenge is? Who can make who sit down first?
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like a training arc,
that's,
you know?
That's the
it's
height
about, like,
of
how you can balance
No,
teamwork.
not forced, not with bending. Not with bending. It's just who decides to sit down first.
Oh, you mean like, okay, then that's a training of stuff, like
She's not training. It's one
you know what I
teacher
mean?
versus
It's about,
another
like...
teacher deciding who runs the dojo. It's not a training exercise.
Oh, by the way, did you also realize that the dojo
Yeah.
students were in the movie?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
and that was a
pretty
weird
cute.
scene because Toph didn't come off as a teacher. She just came off as a bully that's mean to her
And-
students.
Yeah, well, that's Toph too. Also, like the same thing that she does when she's old
Years
against
have gone by.
Korra. You know what I mean? That's Toph.
Well, yeah, but
she's gonna be a
when you
strict
see her-
teacher.
Well, when you see her in Korra, though, she looks very military disciplined in the flashbacks and stuff. Like, she's arms behind back. She's
And
like,
that's an older Toph. That's not like this is
Sure,
still younger than that,
but
by the way.
She almost feels younger in the Avatar Aang movie with like her
in
maturity.
that flashback, she's like married and she's a terrible mother. You know what I mean? Like that's all like that's so she's older there too. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I meant in Avatar Aang the movie. She almost seems younger, like mental wise, like maturity wise, than in the original
she
show.
Is, like younger than
than the original show. You cut me off again. Stop.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry.
Stop it. Stop him. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal, I guess, in the grand scheme
It really
of things.
isn't. Yeah.
But I just thought they also redo that joke twice. There's a repeat joke
one?
twice in the film where Toph like just bodies the people around her and then goes, ha ha ha, I am the greatest
still
earthbender
the
in the
greatest."
world. And I'm like, really? We're doing that joke twice? Which is funny because she immediately gets bodied by a day one airbender right after that. And you're like, huh.
Yeah.
Which I'm
that's-
surprised that like earthbending is such a cheap bending that I'm surprised the characters never utilize it. Like Aang, for example, when he's fighting the this new faction, they're called the
Defied.
what are they called?
The Defied.
The Denied. I
Denied.
think.
Yeah, denied. My bad.
Yeah, close. The Denied. When he finally incapacitates, he wants to like not hurt them because he
Yeah.
doesn't know who they are, but they're being dicks to him. And I'm like, I know they're trying to make like fake tension here and show that Aang's a nice guy, but earthbending would instantly solve this problem. Just wrap their feet in rocks, and just like put them in the ground, like down to
Yeah.
their necks, and you just win. Earthbending is so good at incapacitating people, and that never happens at any point in the film when it would be like really useful. And I think it's because they know that would end a lot of the fights, like
I
immediately.
mean, it was
Even
useful
against, like,
for the villains, you know. Togga literally shoots a fucking air bullet to kill the Team Avatar, so it was useful for the villains. Can I mention for the Defied, that lady with the fucking fire bow and arrow was like, motherfucker, you are like you feel like one of the strongest characters ever. You fucking airbend your exploding fire arrows and like destroy
is that
buildings
what it
and
was?
shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
See,
like
I thought she
it's
was a
just bow and
firebender
arrows
for
that
some
explode.
reason.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
he gave
too.
her firebending because he can give any. So should we get to what the whole actual plot of the film is now before we talk
sorry,
about
Snake.
all the
Well,
minor
let's give a
stuff?
very, very simple synopsis of it.
I feel like I'd be faster at this because
Yeah. That's what I mean. You can
Sonic
give
goes
the
into a lot of detail, which is good, but I'll be fast. So
Yeah.
Aang is still sad that while we have this era of peace, all the nations are enjoying it except for the Air Nation because there are no other airbenders. I don't get why at this point he hasn't accepted that he's just going to have kids with Katara and they're going to be airbenders and
Yeah.
eventually we'll get our race back. He also has nightmares of him like not staying to stop the Fire Nation, which also makes no sense because as an adult he should realize he would have got fucking mopped.
It's
if
more
he stayed,
like
he would have got killed.
PTSD. It's more.
Well,
like,
but
you
no, he
know,
feels regret over it. He gets like browbeat over it a couple times in the film by the villain, like you left, and it's like if I hadn't left, we would have been GG, game over, because the Avatar cycle would have reset and we would have been fucked. But so anyway, so Aang feels guilt a little bit over like leaving, and like his clan got erased, his culture got erased, all that. And also he's mainly just sad that everyone else is enjoying this era of peace, but not the airbenders, because there are none. Well, he learns that, there's like this magical item that one of the previous avatars made. He can't reach out to her. She's locked herself from the avatar zeitgeist. She's not there. She's not in the encyclopedia of avatars. So he can't talk to her. He has to try to figure out manually where this magical item is, because she made this staff that can imbue bending onto other regular humans. Apparently it was made between her and the lion turtles. They all helped make this magical item, and she hid it somewhere. And he needs to find out where. Turns out the Denied, a radical group of like terrorists who want to become benders, they learned about it too. I'm not sure if it's ever explained how they learned about it, but they also know about it.
Yeah. They found out because at least they know that the map is in Sonnen statue. That's what they said. So there's that.
Which is still odd. How the hell would they know that? Because even Aang didn't know that.
So
but
details, MacGuffins.
Yeah, so they're also looking for it. And so Aang doesn't just want the staff to like possibly make more airbenders. He also just needs to get there before the Denied get there, because they would use it for bad stuff. Well, he thinks that like he finally learns like where it might be, but instead it's actually where the new airbender guy is. What's his name again? Taga?
Taga.
It's actually where Taga is. And when he ends up freeing him, Taga was frozen in ice, very similar to Aang.
Yes.
And they almost both die because Aang just didn't wait for backup. He could have waited just like 2 hours and he would have had backup.
Which Zuko does bring up. It's like, well, you could have just waited for us. Oh, or Toph. It's like, just wait for us.
Yeah.
Too. What the fuck?
But we learn in this scene when Taga helps save Aang that Taga is a very absurdly powerful airbender. He stops an entire mountain after just waking up from a comatose state by just blasting air up at it, which is otherwise an Avatar Aang level feat. But Taga can just do it. He's that strong of an airbender. I like to think...
One description that I do like people saying is because people are saying like, why is Taga like so overpowered? And it's like, well, to be fair, up to this point, we've never actually seen a surviving air, like an actual airbender, air nomad, like throughout like the originals and stuff like that. Because his entire race was, that entire history was wiped out. So all we have is what Aang remembers, what's kept in the temples.
Yeah.
So even Taga teaches Aang like new techniques and stuff like that. So it's like this is a true like overpowered like air nomad and whatnot. Even though
I can get into why I think he's also more powerful too, because this might be me writing for the writer, but this explanation makes sense to me. Anyway, fast forward. Taga's like, yes, I know where the staff is, Aang. I'm going to help you get there. The problem is it's in like this very enchanted place. You have to fly through this like giant storm thing, and we're going to go through there, but it's like a bunch of hurricanes and air storms and stuff in there. They barely make it through, right, with some cool like epic cinematic animation stuff and all that. Team Avatar almost dies because Aang's busy helping Taga destroy the tornadoes in front, but as a result, the ones behind almost like sink the ship that everyone's in, and Katara's mad about that. She's like, you should have come back and helped. And Taga's like, no, I told him that he needs to trust in his team and that you guys would prevail. We had to do our job and you had to do your job. So at this point, despite everyone probably assuming that there's going to be a twist at some point, Taga actually makes sense. His logic here is pretty valid for the most part. There's even a point too where Katara wants to go ahead.
That's what I mean. I see a little both, because it's like, yes, Taga makes a sense, and it's like they want to help out, but Katara's like, are you really gonna put the lives of us like for this? Because we can just back out right now. And Aang is like, no, we are doing this because I want to bring the airbenders back. So it became like a two-sided thing. I kind of see both points a little bit, but obviously Aang. It turns out it works out for Aang because they do make it pass and stuff.
My only issue too was like she wanted to turn back, but they were already like in the shitstorm. So like, what do you mean? Like going forward or going back at this point is the exact same level of danger. We're in the storm. Like we're kind of fucked either way. Might as well just push forward. But anyway, they make it to the magical mystical place, and Taga wants to go with Aang to the place where the staff is, but Katara's like, no, stay with us and help with this and let Aang do that. Obviously, she's trying to separate Taga, get him by himself, because she suspects something. And this is where the twist happens that everyone saw coming.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, Taga lets the mask fall off completely, and he's basically a bigot. He goes, Aang's biggest mistake was trusting you. And she's like, me? And he just attacks her with, like, pretty, like, big force, right? He's going for the win here. He's not just trying to, like, hurt her.
Yeah, Taga's motive is essentially, like, he believes that, like, you know how, like, the Fire Nation's the best, we're going to take over the world. Well, that's kind of like Taga with the Air Nation.
With Earthbenders.
Yeah, it's like because he had a PTSD about how the Earth Kingdom like basically killed all his like brothers and sisters or like that were created by Sonon. So he's all like,
Yeah.
no, that we need to be the ultimate kingdom and we need to kill everybody else. That's sort of like how it becomes.
Yeah, Sonic's telling you out of order, but basically, the Team Avatar tries to fight Taga while Aang is doing his like staff thing, because the staff is hidden behind a thing that requires the Avatar to open it, like all the bending.
Yeah.
And he's actually having fun doing his bending to open it, because he's like, I'm gonna finally get the staff, like it's all working out, and my whole friends are alive, we're good, we're gonna restart the Air Nation. Meanwhile, outside it's like, oh, this Airbender is trying to kill us, what the fuck?
Yes.
And you would think the Team Avatar would be able to solo him, but for the sake of the plot, he needs to be able to win this fight.
It's the movie character, the movie anime. He's got to be overpowered.
Yeah, Taga does this move where he concentrates air into like a stream that actually goes through you, and when he hits them with it, they're all just like one shot. And
it's like a bullet.
He gets to Aang. He gets to Aang. He one shots him with an air gun pretty much, and they don't know how to defend against that. Even I think Toph does a rock wall, and it goes through it. So like it's really powerful. And keep in mind, airbenders are pretty much attacking you with invisible bullshit, so dodging this would be very difficult. But he walks in, and Aang has no idea a fight just went down. He's holding the staff, and he's like, Aang, you've done it. You have the staff. And he's like, yeah, we can finally bring back the Air Nation. And he's an ignorant, like, goody boy. So when Taga just takes the staff out of his hand directly, he doesn't think anything of it. He just thinks, oh, we're friends. Well, now Taga has the staff, and very similar to Shang Tsung with Kronika's crown, he knows how to use this thing already because he has history with it. Exactly. So he's like, yeah, Aang, so I'm going to use this staff now to build like an elite class of airbenders that are going to like subjugate the world. And he's like, no, you can't do this. Where's Team Avatar? And then he's like, oh yeah, like they're all taken out. And this makes Aang mad and big angry man. But unfortunately, despite the Avatar state, he's not ready for the gun.
The Glock.
He's not ready for the Glock. So he gets hit with it. And this is where it's revealed something shocking, because the fight with him versus Team Avatar was cut so quick, you're not really sure what happened. You just know he beat him. When he hits Aang with this thing, Aang rolls over and his eyes are just wide open. He's fucking dead. Yeah, it's a kill shot. This move kills you. He killed Team Avatar and he killed Aang. And you're like, oh shit. And he takes the staff. He even walks back to the Denied, who somehow made it. That's a bit of a plot contrivance. The Denied made it through the hurricane.
Did they make it through, or were they still back there? I forgot. I thought they were still back there, and then he was like, yo,
maybe they backed off. You're right. Maybe they backed off. But then how did he get to them?
Well, he just
with
he
Appa.
used the staff.
He stole Appa. That's right. He steals
Appa.
Appa. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what's revealed, because Aang, at his lowest point when he's pretty much dead here, then finally the Avatar he was looking for this whole time, she shows up. And she's like, wow, Aang, like no one's ever reached out to me before successfully. And he's explaining to her the situation, and she's like, no, you freed Taga? Oh shit, there's a reason I put him in a giant thing of ice. And here's where you get the backstory for why Taga's evil. So when she made the staff, let her make more airbenders, or just benders in general. And I think it might even be implied this is where like the different factions came from, because she was making an equal amount of each type of like bender.
I forgot.
But
I thought it was only the air faction. Like,
maybe just the air faction, but it's also revealed that back then the airbenders were the police. And like they're like the peacekeepers, because airbending is good for like just know you, but it's not violent directly.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the earthbending is the opposite. Earthbending is like super good at killing someone if you want to. So it turns out during Taga's era, the Earth Kingdom was like the Fire Nation in the original season of Avatar, and they're just taking control. They're taking over. Well, Taga says, "Let me send an elite force of my benders to stop this." But when he tries, he's really shocked they all go for the kill. And it shows the earthbenders like straight up just squishing you between rocks and just killing you. Like they're just killing the airbenders without mercy. And this changes his perception of what it means to be a peacekeeper. He's now kind of like a might equals right guy. He thinks, no, if you are weak and soft on these people, they take advantage and they kill your friends, your comrades, all this stuff. We're going to nip it in the bud. I will be the tyrant. So he's kind of like Injustice Superman at this point. And it kind of makes sense. What doesn't make sense is why he reveals his hand to Katara, because he had no reason to. Aang was already going to make more airbenders. Aang was already going to let him probably train them. He could have waited way longer to reveal his master plan, but, plot needed to happen.
I guess he also wants to just kill Team Avatar because they're in his way. He's like, okay, I got to the staff.
But they wouldn't have been, though. They could have been on his side. Anyway, here's one of the best scenes in the movie, in my opinion. It's one of the actual few... It's not done well because Aang's voice actor is wrong, but this scene is trippy, and you would probably think so too, Snake. So... in the middle of Aang talking to this new Avatar, right, from many years ago, who has experience with Taga, he just gets pulled beneath the ground as everything goes dark, and he sees all the Avatars, and it's implied he's getting pulled to his spot at the end of the chain. He's getting pulled to his spot, because he's dead. And he's like, no, I can't be over yet. I can't end it like this. This can't happen. And it's not up to him. But luckily, he gets revived because Taga made a mistake and knocked Katara into the water outside when he hit her with the death beam. Go ahead.
I thought it was a thing that if you die in the Avatar state, then the Avatar cycle ends.
It does. They just kind of skip over that.
So
it's more like it doesn't
But
immediately happen for Aang yet, basically, because he's not completely dead. Like, yeah, it's not instant for him, at least.
So he kind of holds out long enough for the Avatar state to end then?
I guess so. Maybe it turns off and then he died from shock. You're right. They don't think about it.
That's kind of a nitpick, but I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, Katara revives him with magical water, and he's like, Katara, oh, thank you. And she's like, whew, I'm glad you're back alive. She goes, luckily, when Taga killed me, he knocked me into the water, and he didn't know that I had that healing water power, which is actually a nice touch because that's probably a trick that was learned later that he wouldn't have known about because he's like 5,000 years old or some crazy shit, Taga. So he might not
maybe.
have. They probably didn't know about water bending for healing, and they're also in a very mystical area because it's where the staff was made. It's where all the lion turtles used to live.
Yeah,
it's a very spiritual and mystical area. So the water there is more potent for healing. So that makes sense. He knocked her into the water when he kill shot her, so she revived, and then she started healing everyone else and got to Aang last because he's further away. This all kind of checks out. Now, so now of course the goal is we gotta go back and fight Taga, and they go back to like Republic City, I guess technically, in its early days.
Oh yeah, by the way, Snake, Republic City is here, just so you know. Like the Korra city, it's been made. It's not as advanced yet, but it's been made basically.
It's been founded.
That seems like something that should have been like at the end of the film or like later on. You feel like it's such a massive development as opposed to like, this is what, like 10, 15 years later?
Well,
it's also, I guess, a bit of a plot hole because there should be a lot of benders there, and we don't see any other benders really helping in the final climax, which I just realized is kind of an oversight too. Not a big deal, but...
Yeah, that's a good point. But
So basically, here's what happens. That Team Avatar uses some... Oh, I forgot about this part. My brain almost omitted this. So they have no way to get through the hurricane. Yeah, so Snake, they have no way of getting through the hurricane, right, that's surrounding the area they're at, because Appa was stolen by Taga. And Aang's like, well, thankfully, we're in the most spiritually strong area possible, so I'm going to reach out to an old friend. Does the Avatar state, and he summons the koi fish spirit, the giant, like, Omega boss to season 1,
that's right. Yeah,
he summons that guy who opens his mouth or something, and for some reason, that's a portal that takes him into the spirit realm. That's never been a power he's had before, but let's go with it. They jump inside of his mouth, and when they get in the spirit world, we get some Korra level, oh, it's so funny because it's random. And I admit it was kind of funny for being interesting, but it made no sense. Sokka is back to being his season 1 self. So is Aang. Toph's a baby for some reason. And then Katara is really old, and Zuko's really old.
Katara and Zuko are Korra season 4. They're
super old. And it's not explained why, except that the spirit realm is out of whack because the staff is causing an imbalance. So like their spirits are also out of whack and all that. Well, they meet this giant pig monster thing. It looks straight out of like an old Japanese style painting. It looks cool. The problem is it's animated very well too. The issue is it's ruined by millennial writing. Like the most millennial writing you've ever heard, where he goes, oh, you're the Avatar? Let me look at you. And he has 6 eyes. So he goes, then this eye, then that one, then this eye. Gotta get all the eyes on you. And I'm oh, it's so funny because it's millennial humor. Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
It was like funny, haha, for like a minute, and then it was over really fast.
And by the way, this super animated character with a lot of dialogue, this giant beast that has a lot of potential, he only exists to like toss Team Avatar in the right direction. That's all he does. Then you never see him again. It is one of the weirdest wastes of money I've ever seen.
Wait, is it like a big ball?
Yeah, that one.
The Taika Waititi one?
Yes. Yeah, he's voiced by Taika Waititi.
It's Taika Waititi? Oh, that explains everything!
Yes, Dawg,
that explains everything!
I was going to reveal that later.
God.
I was going to reveal that just then, but Snake revealed it.
Oh, sorry to ruin it. Don't worry, I'll remove it from the episode. We can do it again later.
No, it's fine. You got his reaction.
That's very funny.
So what I was trying to get at is like he's such a small part in the movie. It's like, what's the point of this? Why don't you reference a spirit from like Korra's season or something? This is like a completely new character. And then here's my theory. This motherfucker is gonna show up again in Seven Heavens.
Probably.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that theory?
That's a good theory. Yeah.
Right. That's my theory about that. Yeah.
Likely.
I mean, he looks like the typical millennial. I hate to keep dogging on my own generation, but this looks like the same millennial slop that we see in like in the God of War. What's it called? The new one coming out?
Lo-Fei?
Laufey, yeah, God of War Laufey. We see the same kind of weird homogenized creatures that are like a mix of things.
Okay, to be fair though, don't we like the cube? I thought we were liking the cube on this channel. Are we?
No, I don't like
the
the cube.
I thought we liked. I thought we liked the Huey.
No one
cube.
likes the cube.
No.
We were
I like
really
his voice
positive
acting.
about the Huey cube when we were.
No, I said the
on
voice
this
actor of
podcast.
Huey did a good job because a lot of real actors aren't good voice actors. I was impressed that he was doing a good job voice acting.
I
But
guess
the
we're
cube
not
is
liking the
stupid.
Huey cube on the podcast.
Especially
Sorry,
since the cube is
guys.
supposed to be Sword in the
Sorry.
Stone. So, yeah. Anyway.
But that did keep going. The final battle.
Yeah.
The final battle. This is where things get crazy.
So the final battle is going to happen now. Big thing. So Taga has gone to Republic City because, I mean, realistically, that is the best place to assert his will because it's where all the nations have come together as like their own new big city. It's like, you know, in Mass Effect when the Reapers attack the Citadel because that's the best place to ransack. It's the same kind of logic.
Aang has brought up Republic City to Taga multiple times. Like, this is my... I built this place. This is like the dream city and everything. So Taga's almost like, oh, so this is the best place to attack then. And it's also personal to Aang. So there's a couple of good reasons.
Meanwhile, I bet Taga in his head is like, you filthy bending mixers. You filthy rats. But, oh, and by the way, I should say one thing, because I promised the audience I'd explain my theory for why Taga is so OP.
Yeah.
I think because he's one of the people that was given his bending by the Avatar herself, that maybe he's got spirit level abilities, not just regular bending abilities. And this could also help to explain the third biggest plot hole in the film, which is that Taga has given airbending to the Denied, and they are good at it. They should not be good at it.
That's my theory,
They are
too.
exceptionally good at it.
The staff is like gives you more power. Like that is also a theory that I have too. Yeah.
It's not explained that way, but I'll let my head write that part.
Yeah.
Because they'll show up. Like, for example, Zuko. Keep in mind, I wonder if the writers forgot this too. Team Avatar is not just benders. They're like all geniuses in their own right.
Well, Sokka
like
especially,
Katara is one of the. Well, I meant at their bending ability. Katara is one of the best waterbenders on the planet. She's not just like any waterbender. Zuko is one of the best firebenders on the planet because he learned training from the dragons themselves, which almost nobody has. So the fact that Zuko spends the entire fight against the Denied running away and biding his time is crazy. Because that is fucking Zuko we're talking about.
I will defend, but only because, first off, movie version, you need to have some tension to make the action more exciting.
I can tell you why. it happened. It's because his voice actor is invincible. So he knows if he gets in a fight, he's going to get fucking wrecked.
Oh, no. No. He has a worse win record than Nightwing's arm.
They do win later on anyways. But my little headcanon, because people have said this on Twitter too, it's like they have not been dealing with airbenders ever in their lifetime. They do not know how to deal with this fighting style and whatnot, so this is new to them. Like, Toph fighting against someone who flies is like a disadvantage for her because she needs to like sense around her and they're not on the ground. So that kind of makes it a little harder. So at first, they're not used to that shit. They're not used to Taga. That was one way that people have decided, I can kind of see that. But obviously, the main reason is because movie version, we need to have threat. Even though these guys are
exactly, you got to pretty much say the plot needs to happen, the conflict needs to happen.
Yeah.
So they're fighting, and it quickly goes from Team Avatar versus the Denied to more like Team Avatar trying to save the city because it's like shit's gonna fall on top of it. Like, so they're trying to evacuate everyone while also dealing with the Denied being annoying assholes attacking them.
It does slowly like become like a Super Saiyan fight, I will say, when Aang and Taga fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that part. So, because while they're fighting, Aang himself has to confront Taga. So he's like, I'm back. And Taga, instead of being like flabbergasted, like, how the fuck are you alive? He's just kind of like, Aang, isn't it great? I've got more airbenders. Isn't this fantastic? Well, of course, they have a moral back and forth where he's like, no, like, you're doing this all wrong. And Taga's like, I'm wrong? You're the reason our entire clan almost died. You almost killed the entire faction of airbenders. To which Aang feels guilt again, and it's like, no, he should be over this. He should understand as an adult, like, no, it's not my fault. But anyway,
that guilt is pretty harsh. Anyways,
well, he couldn't have done anything. He was a kid. It wouldn't have mattered if he stayed. He would have died.
I mean, their trauma
but anyway,
kind of works. It's like, anyways,
mental warfare. My point is, mental warfare is happening. Taga's trying to attack the emotional part, so they're fighting. Yeah. And Taga, of course, is winning for most of the fight just because he understands all this ancient bending and stuff.
He also has
he's
a
just
staff.
more of an aggressive asshole. He has a staff. Yes, I forgot about that. So it was shown in the talk with the other Avatar lady that Taga already tried to steal a staff once before. because he wanted to get revenge on the Earth Kingdom for killing all of his men and just going on a tear and trying to take over the world. But the Avatar, because she is the Avatar, she's like, no, there's got to be a way to resolve this without meeting violence with more violence. And Togga's like, no, I'm going to do this. So he steals the staff, which makes him, it turns out that he's really good at using the staff. And he influenced it with his like negative energy, and like he evolved. He became like an evil. He looks like evil genie from Aladdin. It's kind of how he looks when he powers up with it.
Yes, a little bit.
And he used that to become an even stronger bender, but he eventually did lose because the Avatar froze him in that, that ice. And then she took the staff somehow.
She also like used up a lot of her powers, and so she dies after that too.
So she did. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. So
okay,
that's her last will, is to hide the staff, and then she passes away.
Point being, Togga has experience with the staff. It makes him more powerful. So he's fighting with it. He almost solos Aang, but Aang kind of does a recreation of the lightning bending. It's similar to that, where he gets pushed off the ledge. He's falling towards Republic City, and then Togga's like, I'm going to fucking shoot you with air bending gun. So he fires it, and Aang's like, I'm going to catch it and use this like bending thing he showed me earlier for a different thing, but I'm going to repurpose it to tunnel it and send it like around and back, but he doesn't go for the kill shot. He just like knocks him off his game, and then now Togga's on tilt. Aang lands a bunch of blows.
Togga did teach Aang the tethering wind technique, so I think I do kind of like that being incorporated back.
Yeah, so Aang kind of like Uno reverses him, and he does end up getting the staff. And a cute touch is that when he grabs the staff, instead of glowing red, it glows blue, because Aang's a good boy.
Super Saiyan.
But
Aang,
yeah, so he touches the staff, and then I don't know why he does this all of a sudden, but he gets really angry. He starts getting mad, and he's like, "It's your fault." Maybe the staff influences you, like the ring from Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's holding the staff, and he rightfully gets mad here.
Brothers.
He goes even further. Here's a couple of good bangers here. I do think it could have been conveyed a bit better, but I get what he's trying to say. He tells Togga, he's like, "You took my dream and you ruined it." And he's trying to imply like everyone's scared of airbenders now.
Yeah,
like you've ruined it. Like instead of airbenders being these great beings, and we've waited for them to come back, like we're welcoming them. No, now everyone for a while is going to think of airbenders as demons because you did that. Like the first airbenders that people have seen in 100 years, they now think that all airbenders are aggressive assholes that almost destroyed the most peaceful city on Earth, known as Republic City. So he's rightfully mad. I just wish the writers went into a bit more detail with that, because all he says is like, "You ruined my dream," and he's pissed off. Well, he starts getting more and more angry. He becomes like Super Saiyan Aang, but he's angry. He's about to go for the kill shot. And of course, Sokka, being a goofball, is like, "Yeah, Aang's winning." And Katara's like, "No, this is wrong. This is bad." Yeah. And before he goes for the kill shot, which by the way, Togga's on board for, he's like, "Yes, become the ruler you need to be. Kill me and show them all that you're willing to go that far," So he's about to go for the kill shot, but then he gets this moment of like peace where he hears like airbending kids laughing in the distance. He's like kind of in his own happy place. And he's like, "What's going on here?" He hears the Sky Bison, and then his father figure shows up,
Gyatso.
Right? He walks into frame, Gyatso. And it's a cute scene. The problem is his voice is all wrong, so that took me out of it. But Gyatso pretty much says, like, "Aang, to do what's right for everyone, you have to accept, like, your fear. You have to, like, let this happen." And it's, like, it's very cryptically worded, but what he essentially means, you figure it out if you haven't already. Aang comes back to his consciousness, like, he's in control again. He takes the staff, and he just breaks it. Like no more power for anyone else to use. Yeah. But that means, of course, no more airbenders, because anyone given the power by the staff loses it. So the denied no longer have bending. So they're not a threat anymore, which leads to a funny scene where they're chasing, I think, Zuko, and they're about to like attack him.
Citizens, I think. It wasn't Zuko.
Oh, it was random citizens. You're right. Yeah, random citizens. And they're like cornered, but then all their powers go away. So the citizens start chasing them because they're depowered
like,
now.
What? Where's my powers? Fuck!
But so the whole like accept your worst fear thing is that Aang, for everyone at this moment to save the world, you have to just accept that the airbenders aren't going to come back right away. It's going to be a slow burn right over time until Korra. But so he breaks the staff, which takes all the powers away, and for some reason also just deletes Togga, which doesn't make any sense. Like he starts to fade away, and we get this weird kind of bromance between him and Aang, doing like the creation of Adam almost, like where like they're reaching out.
Yeah. I like the phrase they say, which is it's like what's it called? Air nomads are formed from the mist. We walk the world for a moment in time, then we return to the eternal wind. It's like he says that to Aang, and at the end he says that again before he whooshes away. I mean, I guess he was really imbued with the spiritual power, so when the stab breaks, that's why he dies. They need a freaking, what do they call that? The freaking hero not trying to kill the villain, but the villain needs to die kind of thingy. You know what I mean? Like the Darth Vader death. You know, that kind of thing. They did that for Taka.
It's that too, and also plot, right? That we need to get this villain out of here because we can't just say he's had a face turn, because that doesn't really work for his character, since he's very committed to like his cause and morally, like, in his head you see his perspective. So he wouldn't really change. So you gotta get rid of him. You gotta omae wa mu shinderu. And so he does. He just fades away after the staff is broken.
Yeah.
And then there's a last minute scene to make you feel good, because everyone's probably sad at this point at like the airbenders being gone forever until babies. So Aang is like, oh yeah, this is the last place that was ever visited by the Avatar that I spoke to. And she's the last person to ever be here. So we're like the first humans to set foot here for over 1,000 years. And then it's like, oh, plot twist, there's sky bison here.
Yay!
They've been hiding here the whole time. There's all these sky bison. So Appa lands and they're all happy together. And they all have their own sky bison now. It's really cute. Fuck Momo, I guess, because we don't see any more lemurs. So I guess fuck Momo. But...
Actually, no. In Korra, there's a new lemur. So they're not gone, the flying lemurs. By the way, can I also say something here? Somebody in that movie staff fucking loves Momo. He had so many adorable shots. Just like there's so many shots of Momo. It's like somebody there really loves Momo, because like I don't even think Appa had that many cute shots, but they really like leaned in on like the.
Appa is a car. Appa is just a plot device in this movie, unfortunately. Like compared to Momo.
Aang had a whole arc of being depressed because he lost Appa. You know.
No, I mean in this movie. Appa is treated like a car. He doesn't have any character. Yeah.
What is kind of cool is like the fact that like they find more sky bisons is something that happens in Korra. It's like sky bisons like return. Like there's a lot more of them, so they kind of tie that there in a way, which is kind of cute. Actually, Dawg, did you notice how many Korra plots were in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the denied is literally the equalizer, the equalists from season 1. The spirit
except
realm,
way less cool. But yeah,
the equalists are way cooler. I will say. The spirit realm is also set up in season 2, and then the air nomads come back is season 3. It's like, wait, this is a lot of Korra plots beats happening here, which I thought was kind of funny.
Also, there's a tiny thing we glossed over because it's not a big deal. It could be completely scrapped from the movie. There's one member of the Denied who is saved by Aang towards the beginning, and as a result, she's like, well, we shouldn't try to kill him because he spared me. And like the leader, who's a bitch, she's like, whatever it takes, because we have to like equalize power in this world. Like, we are the powerless.
Like,
and
it's like, don't you remember when they didn't help you when like your family died or some shit like that? I remember that's what
such
she
a
says
stupid thing. So
they're
of course, as
very
the viewer,
bad villains. Yeah, they're not the best.
If you've watched movies or just anyone who enjoys storytelling, you kind of predict what's going to happen here. At some point, she's going to be given the chance to kill Aang, and she's not going to do it because he spared her, which means she's going to go against her evil Denied group, and she's going to help Team Avatar. Except it's kind of wrong, since it's not Aang that's in danger, it's a different person, but she still does the same thing of like, oh, I'm not going to kill them, I'm going to help.
Yeah, but she has a change of heart.
And as a result, when everyone's powers goes away, she's the only one smiling and okay with it because she doesn't want like chaos. It's such a minor character. It is the most deletable, removable character that has ever existed.
I will say,
that was a tiny thing we glossed over.
There is a cool detail at the end when Aang is like, okay, my new air nomad disciples, who all of you don't know airbending, but you can still learn my culture. Like, yo can join me and like you can help out with the temples and stuff like that. That again is set up in Korra, because like in each of the air temples in Korra, it's like you see these monks like helping out and sleeping and like helping out, and like they're not airbenders, but they're just here to help out. So it's like they set that up they show that in the movie, like, oh, Aang like got some of these volunteers to help out for that and stuff like that. So okay, that's cute. Another thing they set up for Korra.
So yes, that is, in the summary, that is Avatar Aang. It creates the conflict and then ends it in the same movie without any real lasting repercussions.
One last thing to bring up. A little disappointed about this, but you see in the after credits, there's a scene where you see a little picture of Zuko drinking tea with Iroh, and it's just a picture. And then you see a scene where everybody's having a good time in a party, and there's Suki.
There she is. I saw her too. I'm like, Suki's in the credits.
Yes.
Suki is in just the credits.
It's very unfortunate. I heard the creators are like, we may have wanted to add Suki, but there's already a lot of characters. Maybe she was supposed to show up at the final battle, but they explained like she's probably helping out other areas during the final battle, because you do see like a Kyoshi warriors, and I think one of them was Suki at the very, very end of credits where Republic City's all good again and whatnot. But yeah, I kind of wish to see Suki.
It all kind of falls into a misunderstanding of Sokka's character too, because in Korra, and again, I know they're older in Korra, but beside the point, in the Avatar Aang movie, when we like meet up with a lot of the characters, some of the parts they're at in their life make sense. Like Toph she's got her metal bending school and she's training her students not very well. She's just beating their ass and being a bitch. But she's doing that. Katara is helping build Republic City, and she's like, I guess it's implied she's like a mediator. She's bringing everyone together, and she opens it. She does the ribbon cutting pretty much of the new city.
Yes.
And then we have Sokka, who doesn't make sense at all. He's like seen around kids trying to describe his new invention, and they just look at him like he's an idiot, and they don't respect him. They're like, why were you part of Team Avatar when you don't have bending? And I'm thinking, this doesn't make any sense on like so many levels. The fact that Sokka's not engineering for the government at the very least, which you know he would be. You know that would be his job. Instead, he's like hid away in this random place where kids are his only audience looking at his inventions, and then Suki's not there. You know, at the very least, he'd be living with Suki. So that's also really weird. The annoying thing about
that is like, what's so annoying is like, for some reason they constantly aren't confirming whether Suki and Sokka got together in the future, which is really fucking annoying. It's just like, just confirm it or not. Yes, we don't see any of that in Korra, but it's like, can you not confirm if they got together or not or something? But it's just like, yeah. So for some reason, but in this movie, at least Suki does show up in the gang at the end. So people are saying at least the movie does more for Sokka and Suki compared to like the comics, is what I've heard.
It is so funny how the comics are both canon and not canon, because Azula gets like her own story in the comics, but that's never even touched in the movie. So I'm not sure if that's canon.
Well, no, the movie is just like too busy with their own stuff. So I was actually hoping to see like Ty Lee and Mai, but like there's a lot that happens.
We don't see Mai with Zuko, but in the comics they break up, right? Which I think was unnecessary.
Together,
I don't know.
That's why it's
my
so
point is, you would think that
convoluted
Zuko would be with her next to him, because kings and queens usually sit next to each other. But she's not there. We only see Zuko. So I'm like, was that canon? Like, I don't know.
You know what, Dog? To be fair, have you ever seen a queen next to a Fire Lord in this entire series? I'm talking about every Fire Lord.
we don't see Zuko on a dragon, do we?
Nope.
Which is odd, because he has a dragon.
He should be able to find one soon. Yeah, there is supposed to be, like, he does have a dragon eventually. Yeah, he'll get
this
one.
Movie had a lot of writers, by the way, which is probably why it's all over the place. It didn't have one clear vision.
Then there's the rumors that's, like, the original team did help out and stuff like that for the writing. Like, they did not bail like the Netflix show. Apparently they did do some helping and whatnot in this one.
They say that, but they're always missing the third guy. That's the problem. The third guy from the original show is never there, and he's the one. I'm sorry, but if you listen to like the commentary behind the scenes, like I forget what they call that, the behind the scenes, like writer commentary. There you go, the director's commentary over the top. He is clearly the guy with all the good ideas, because whenever he speaks, he brings up the little things that were his ideas and stuff. Not in a braggadocious way. He just brings it up. He goes like, yeah, I like this scene because I got to finally talk about where Katara's necklace came from and how it ties her origins back to the Northern Water Tribe, where Gram's originally from. And it's like this whole journey so far has been her, in a way, returning home, because where Gram is from. And I'm like, that's really interesting. And he keeps dropping bangers like that the whole time, whereas the other two writers, who I think are the main writers, but they're still the ones who are like, yeah, we added this scene because it's funny. Or yeah, we added this scene because it's like a twist.
Look, come on.
And I'm like, they don't have any substance.
I'm sure
they don't have. They gave us Korra. You shut up.
They did? You mean like the third person didn't come back? Hang on a second, Dog. You like Korra? Don't be like that. Come on. Actually, I have a hot take. I don't hate
Korra.
I have a hot take. Get ready to hear this. I like this movie. The more I think about it, it does have nitpicks. It does get worse. I like this movie. Yeah. I think I like Korra more. Story.
Damn.
Story. I meant like plot-wise.
Fair.
There are just cooler stuff in Korra. And like I said, like we just literally compare. It's like some of this stuff was done in Korra already and whatnot. And like I said, I don't hate Korra. So
I think this film's good too with the pieces. I think, of course, like hindsight's 20/20, but I think it would have been better to reveal the tragic story of Taga before his heel turn. That way you're more on board when it happens. To have him heel turn and then like reveal it, yeah, it's a twist when you do it that way, but it also makes it seem out of nowhere. And you're also like, I get the feeling the writers wanted us to like kind of understand where he's coming from, but we don't, since it's revealed after the fact and we're already pissed at him for going for the kill too, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so overall,
yeah, go ahead.
We should move on. I feel bad for Snig listening to it. We was supposed to be a short discussion. I feel kind of bad.
My bad. Shit.
We did talk
I thought
so
this
long.
was the thing. I thought this was the event.
I mean, the event's supposed to be the chameleon thing, but I'm not sure if we won't have time for that. regardless,
where are the plot points again? Let's see here.
regardless, I think we still liked it. I think it's still good. We recommend it. Of course, if you're a diehard Avatar fan like us, you will notice these like mischaracterizations, shenanigans, and whatnot. But it's still good. I actually like it. I still think it's like I liked it a little too much the first time I watched it, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, there's some nitpicks here, but I still got 8 out of 10.
Good. If y'all want, y'all could talk about Spider-Man, and I could just mute you guys, and when you're done, just give a thumbs up.
What?
And I'll know it's time
I mean,
for
we
me
can
to
start
chime
with a
back in.
non-spoiler, small little discussion about Spooderman, you know?
Well, I'm still worried because I'm going to see it today. So I kind of want to go in completely blind.
Okay, how about this,
So-
Snake? Just say a very basic "I like because," and then that's it, without like spoil or like "I don't like" or whatnot. What did like? How about just that?
Well,
It
then
was
we'll
very
have like
basic.
a more in-depth discussion next time. I liked it. I was surprised there were so many like non-Spider-Man characters in it, like Hulk or Punisher and whatnot. Whereas
Wait, is he muting us? Okay, just making sure.
whereas like the Spider-Man characters themselves, there's not as many as you would have expected for this film. It's hard to gauge where it's going from here.
You know,
like-
Snake. The way you put it reminds me of like brand new world Captain America, because it's like here's Sam Wilson and here's the Hulk villain, here's Eternals, here's like Bucky stuff. What?
Yeah.
But I don't hate that for it, by the way, because like I've heard
No,
people
no.
said this feels kind of like an X-Men plot actually later on and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was certainly weird, but I think it works. It's just I was expecting more lead-in for Doomsday because there's fucking nothing so far other than a bit of lead-in from Fantastic Four and Captain America. Other than that, it's just kind of coming out of nowhere, which was one of the big problems with this whole post-Infinity Saga, where nothing really feel like it's leading up to anything. It's just random stories, and now we're moving on to this, and now we're moving on to this, as opposed to it's all leading up to this one point.
I get what you mean, Snake, but at the same time, that just makes a good movie. Because sometimes when a movie leads into something a little too much, you'll be like, okay, but it's not its own thing. But I do feel like this Spider-Man movie was like Peter and
Spoiler.
story, like its own thing. And now that's one way I also kind of see it. Personally, I was actually kind of hoping for Daredevil.
Yeah.
I was really thinking Daredevil was going to be. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised
He's
didn't.
met him before, and Frank's here, but he's not.
Yeah. Okay, but let's keep it short, by the way, because I'm sure we can let Dawg talk more.
Yeah.
For me, I like this movie, and the more I think about it, the more I like about it, because it really is that side of Peter, that little like, because you know the friendly neighborhood side of him, but also the sad side about being a Spider-Man or being like Peter in this case. Really emphasized, really showcased. People said it reminds them of like Spider-Man 2, where it's like being Peter Parker kind of sucks when you have to be Spider-Man and Peter Parker at the same time. So you do kind of see that with like the whole he's being alone and all that stuff with MJ and whatnot. But actually, ironically, this also really reminded me of the Insomniac Spider-Man story, the first one especially. That whole like being Spider-Man sucks and like balancing work life and stuff and whatnot, and also having. Actually, the whole thing where like he is half like his arachnic DNA rising also reminded me of like him losing his powers in Spider-Man 2, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it ties in really well with like just being a guy who's stressed out and a guy who's like really depressed and traumatized after what happened in No Way Home and like his life then and whatnot. And I think it also aligns really well with the villain, which is
Spoiler.
And I think that stuff, what Peter is going through. And what is going through, aligning at the end was like fantastic. I think they did that all really well. Wait, actually, I forgot. Are we spoiling stuff? Right? is this part spoiling?
Well,
right?
I assumed we were going to hold on for spoilers till next time when we're all.
Oh,
talking
okay, my
about
bad.
it.
Then I'll stop.
I'll mute it. I'll mute what you're saying. The particular who it is.
All I'm gonna say is that I like it, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. And the small details that I also like is that people said that the new director they got for this, because the last 3 movies were John something, but they got a new director for this, and it's like people are saying, oh yeah, you can tell because the CGI is a lot less. The screen is a lot less obviously green screens in the background. It's actually a lot more practical and awesome effects and shit like that when it's happening. It's like there's a
For me, the giveaway is, I know how this can sound, but a lot of the Marvel movies don't have particularly interesting cinematography. Sometimes you get really good stuff, like in Avengers 1, there's some shots, like there's a bit where like a reflection in a helmet on the ground, a bit like in Resident Evil 3. And there's some really good stuff like that, but this one has a lot more of that. Like, some really good lighting, like when he's with MJ on that rooftop, and there's like the big red neon sign, and he's just lit in all red. And there's a lot of times when he's quite dark around Spidey, but like he pops. He looks very different in this one. And it's like the best suit he's ever had in live action.
Ooh, great! It's not the nanotech and shit like that. It's just it's just a suit. It's just like he wearing it there on set. It's awesome.
I feel like this is one of the better Spider-Man films, probably. Yes. And I think overall ranking of the MCU ones, I would say it's probably the second best one. For me, they've always gotten better each time, except this time. I still prefer the last one. It could be nostalgia talking, though, so I don't...
No Way Home is such an event, you know?
Yeah.
It's such like going to the theater and watching everybody. It was so fun. But as a movie, I go back and forth with it. I'm like, No Way Home is either the best or the worst, depending on when you ask me. So, I get it, yeah.
But yeah, so would you recommend people watch it?
Yeah, exactly. It's good. I liked it. When Dawg comes back, we'll just say it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
He needs to look at us. Dawg, look at us.
Oh,
look at us.
Okay.
He's back.
Well, you say look at us. I mean, like, look at me. You can't see you.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get my camera back because I need to let it less overheated now, hopefully.
I was trying to bring the volume back and I full screened you by accident. I fixed it. Okay.
But I hope you enjoy it, Dawg. Are you going to watch it by yourself or are you going to watch it with the old G?
No, my girlfriend. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We would have done it sooner, but they were all booked solid, so I couldn't watch it yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I've heard mostly people saying that it's good. So
yeah, it is.
That's good. Yeah. So there you go.
I hope you enjoy it. Actually, because your worry is about the writing. What do you think about the writing, Snake? Do you think it's
I mean, I guess I'm not really worried about the writing. I'm more so, I guess that's always an issue, but I'm more worried about they're going to cram a bunch of show stuff in there that's going to make it feel bloated and like too much is going on.
From the shows?
See. Well, yeah, because the Punisher is there.
Oh, no.
And we have Daredevil villains, and we got, I mean.
Punisher exists basically in isolation. Like, they don't mention, and not even from One Last Kill. Like, nothing is mentioned. It's just the Punisher exists.
Yes.
Oh, I got you. I don't mean I'm worried about a knowledge check. I just meant I'm worried it's going to be bloated the same way Spider-Man 3 was, where it has a bunch of stuff going on.
It's a much more contained story.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's cohesive.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't think you need to worry about that.
Good. I'm trying to show both my statues, but I'm thinking I'm going to move Sub-Zero there. Anyway. Cool. So I guess we still have time for the final topic if Sonic wants to. The Great Chameleon Debate.
I would love to. I think we should give a little bit of context as to why is this even like a topic on our
because you're a scaly. That's the real reason why. Otherwise, it would be over in the comments section.
It probably would. Okay, so for context, I'll give a very brief context for this. Essentially, what happened was it was like a week ago. Yeah. In the Discord chat, because Dawg likes to talk about like his video ideas, and it's like, yo, what's up? Let's talk about the video. I need some help for some ideas and shit like that. And then, oh shit. Sorry, I just turned off something. It's okay.
I love bouncing ideas off my boys. You know, like, hey guys, this is my list so far. What do you think?
Yeah. So basically, the idea started with a very simple fact of who is considered a downgrade from Midway's timeline to NRS when they adapted this character, and any ideas from who is worsened because of in NRS and who was like better in Midway, basically. So
yeah.
So like Twindell, obviously, like
Shao
Goro,
and even hyper specific like MK9 Shang Tsung being a complete dimwit.
Yeah. Shao Kahn was brought up in
and
the
his cool moments getting stolen away, all that. I guess Melina is also a big one I could have mentioned just because MK9 Melina doesn't make any sense. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, and so basically, and then one of the characters that was brought up, I forgot who brought it up. I don't know if it's just you brought this up, Dawg, or not. But like, one of the characters that was brought up was Chameleon, with a K, by the way, specifically. And I was like, huh? And I was like, what Chameleon? And then this is where we kind of had the back and forth, basically. And then I was like, essentially being like, no, I don't agree that Chameleon is a downgrade from Midway to NRS, and Dawg still agreed with that. And so in the video, he still brought up Chameleon, and he brought up his reasonings for that
Yeah.
video.
I went with my gut. I went against Sonic's wishes.
Yes, and so I left a nasty comment in his comments, and I was like,
it cut me deep.
You put Chameleon there, nasty, something like that. And then Dawg was like, we'll talk about this on the podcast. So here we are.
That was essentially also my way of ending any possible back and forth in the comment threads, because I know Sonic's the kind of guy that would reply to my reply if it was actually a debate. So I just said, Sonic, I love you, but we'll talk about this on the Combat Kings.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we're just both coming at it from different perspectives. Sonic believes that because Chameleon actually has speaking lines and actually does something in story mode, like she's actually there, that's a glow up. Whereas to me, I feel like they get all the parts wrong. So Chameleon looks wrong, her origin is wrong, which is, to be fair, is wrong for Reptile too. You don't see any of her powers on display. She could pretty much just be Jade, because she uses the staff the whole time. And I also feel like the personality they gave her is just generic, like, oh, I don't like you, but then by the end of the chapter, it's like, oh, I'm starting to like you because you're a good fighter. It's like the most milquetoast. I made the joke that you could replace her with like military person number 3, and it works. Like a random soldier in Halo, for example, could be her. Like, I don't know, Master Chief, I don't know. Then it's like, you know what? You're a real Master Chief. You're legit. That's pretty much how it goes.
So I'm very happy you summarized what you said in the video, like very clear and concise right there, because that's basically the points that I wanted to bring up. Because I want to also, by the way, let's clarify something. And my camera, come back, come on. I just set you up. Come on, camera. Hey. It's camera, you bitch.
I'm gonna need a lot of silly images of Sonic being like to pepper throughout the episode.
Look, the webcam will come back eventually, so enjoy shitty Wi-Fi cam. Now, I want to also clarify something with you, Dawg, just to be sure, because I feel like there are 2 angles that we're kind of looking at this. The video is about, and specifically, it's the word that I'm going to use here because it's what you use in the video, is downgrade. So what you're saying is this is a worse version of what we originally had. Now, there's a really important differentiation that I want to make sure with you. For this topic, at least for this argument, we are only talking about how this is, when comparing, worsened, and not, I don't like what they did with this character, without any comparison. Does that make any sense? Because I feel like
downgrade just means like a lesser version. Maybe not necessarily worse, but definitely lesser, you know?
So
and I think we just both want opposite things. I think you like that they're interacting, and I just wish it was a better representation of the character, because we waited so long for them to come back.
Sure, but at the same time, it's like you're saying, like, I don't really like what they do with her voice and what they do with these things and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, sure,
just
but that's
Melina's
like
voice.
Yeah, I agree with that. That doesn't like Melina, but that's a Mortal Kombat.
Because I'm a lizard, so I have an evil voice. Because I'm Lizard Lady.
You,
sorry, go ahead.
You won't get the Queens of Mercy, but that's more like. That's Mortal Kombat 1's fault for and its depiction. That's like I don't like this character how she's depicted like this, but that's not comparing yet. Does that make any sense? We're not comparing the character because the video is about literally seeing it as a downgrade, and that's where I'm kind of like, okay, why I kind of where I find issue with this is because you say in the video like almost nothing about this character is correct, from her appearance to her origin to how she behaves, her powers and abilities, all that stuff, and I kind of want to go through like some of these, this sentence at least. It's just a small stuff here. Appearance.
Oh no.
So what I find interesting is I remember back when Chameleon was like announced as a playable character, especially we discussed this more. It was like, oh, actually when she was even shown in trailers, it was like her outfit is actually pretty similar to how she looked in Armageddon. It's almost one for one, except for not, covering up some more of the bits and stuff like that.
Well, and she's not invisible and the hair's shit. Yeah.
Okay, so you are specifying the invisible, like, translucent body, and the
It
bomb.
definitely seems like, in fairness, they're trying to adapt MK3 Chameleon or MK Trilogy Chameleon. I forget when she first showed up. But
yes, Trilogy.
I thought it was Trilogy. They're adapting that more so, which is just a mistake because most people would rather you adapt the more recent version, right, from Armageddon, since that's when she was finally, like, her own unique looking character and stuff. Whereas in MK Trilogy, she was just Silver Katana. Right,
sure,
so
but
not as cool.
I guess so. I do find it an interesting balance. Sorry, go Snake, go.
I don't see how this is adapting the trilogy version really, other than the fact that her default palette as a cameo is grey.
Yes,
that's about it. And the staff being her default weapon and all that. Yeah.
The other aspect is it's Jade Katana Melina, whereas in Armageddon it's Jade Katana Melina and Tanya, but there is no
It's
Tanya
all the
for her
women.
here. So
she does the
Yeah,
Soul
she
Calibur
had-
/ Tekken gimmick of being all the females.
She
Yeah,
had
yeah.
Frost as well. I think there was another one, but I can't recall.
I thought Frost wasn't there actually, because if you go on
pretty sure
Wikipedia, it
she
says
is.
Frost and Scarlet aren't there, like, because that's what I remember seeing. But I could be wrong, because I think blue represents Katana, not Frost. But okay, so I kind of want to give the point to Dawg a little bit here, only because you are comparing from a design perspective. You think she just looks better in Armageddon. Like, that's one of the things you're going for, right? I think you don't say it in your video, by the way. You don't say like, "Oh, she looked better in Armageddon," which I
should have. I definitely
Yes,
should
you should
have.
have.
I
But
mentioned
what
the
you went-
powers. Yeah.
You went with she doesn't. Nothing about this character is right. Like, she doesn't. Her appearance, and I'm like, I mean, this is kind of some Armageddon and a tiny bit of Trilogy. It's like the gray palette, and you can argue you can see her skin in her Trilogy. You can argue that, but I mean, like,
That's not what I'm freaking out about. No, I just think that she looks very boring. Whereas like original Chameleon had a very unique outfit, and she had unique hair, and the fact that she was always like translucent was cool. I feel like MK1 Chameleon, and we have more than the design, right? More than that. But by the way, my stuttering is for dominance. You can't use it against me. Anyway, but whereas MK1 Chameleon is just a dull, boring gray. Her outfit is every way that it's changed is lesser for it.
I mean, ironically,
And her
that's
hair
the
is
render,
boring.
but
Yeah.
she constantly changes color too. But sure, yeah.
Not during story mode. Yeah, but you're right. During
Yeah. Story mode. Gotcha. Okay, we'll get to that. I do think what's really funny is, I'm sure you didn't mean it this way, but like you said, from her appearance to her origin to how she behaves, her powers and abilities, yeah, behaves. It's such a downgrade compared to how it was in Armageddon. You know the definition of behaves, right? You act in a certain way. Personality
Well, she
from
has a bio.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Obviously, due to how fighting games were back then, you don't see as much because they didn't have full story modes and stuff yet. Well, they did, but a lot of characters don't appear in.
yeah.
I don't think every character appears in the Armageddon Conquest, unlike in
though, from what I
Deception, when
recall,
every
but
character
yeah.
does.
No, it's like a
so-
relatively small. I think it's less than half the characters. I could be wrong.
Okay.
but
Yeah, less than half show up. Yeah, it's a big
around
downgrade. So as a result, Chameleon's also in that group of like doesn't show up. But you get in her Armageddon, it's kind of implied that when they defeat Blaze, like the ending they get is catered towards their like personality. So the fact that like what Chameleon does, you could argue is her personality. Also, I
Kinda.
can't find it now, but Chameleon has a little bio too, which is funny because male Chameleon doesn't have this.
No.
Lady Chameleon has a full bio. From her perspective, it's from a first-person narrative, which is interesting. So we do have kind of a gauge of her personality. Not a lot, but in fairness, nobody does in Armageddon because that's how Mortal Kombat was done back then. You had the character
Sure,
endings, and that was about it.
But I do
Yeah.
feel like for a majority of characters in Armageddon and in the franchise, to be fair, there is actually, I don't know if you'd agree with this, other than literally male Chameleon, Snake, would you say female Chameleon might have one of the least lore in the entire franchise?
Well, yeah.
Who is a playable character?
because they're only in the
One
in
game,
trilogy,
yeah.
and so
Yeah,
it's
trilogy.
it was always debatable whether they're even canon at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think
true.
they even had. I don't think they even had endings. I could be wrong, but I don't
They do.
recall them having them.
Both they
Okay.
do have endings, yeah. It's not
Oh, I didn't
canon,
know
but
that.
it's arcade endings.
I didn't know they had
Yeah.
endings. See, you see so little with them that even if you YouTube it, it's hard to find like anything with
Oh,
these
yeah.
characters. When I first saw MK Trilogy Chameleon gameplay, I thought it was a Mugen. Like, I really did.
Actually, that is one point that I kind of wanted to get at too, is because you do say it's like, it's like I'm kind of disappointed with like how she's depicted. It's like she never turns invisible or changes her weapons on the fly, which is her entire gimmick.
true.
And I'm like, what do you mean by turning invisible? Like a reptile turning invisible, or are you talking about the translucent skin? That's like I was a little bit confused. the way
Either
you
one would
worded
have been
that.
fine. I don't think it's that much to ask that since her entire gimmick is her being like invisible skinned, it's not too much to ask that at some point during the fight she goes invisible. But instead that moment goes to Sector because it's supposed to be a big reveal that she can do that, which is odd because during gameplay she fucking can't. And also I don't think she ever does it again.
Oh, in the training montage in the beginning of in the chapter, against Cyrex. But
I mean, after this point, when it would have been good to turn invisible, I don't think she ever does.
I guess so. Not against like the dragon and stuff.
Because
no,
no, even like when they were first trying to capture the good guys from the arena, she could have turned invisible, floated down, grabbed one, and then started to float away. And the bad guys would have been like, "What the fuck? So and so's just levitating," but she doesn't even do it there.
But here's the thing again about this topic about a downgrade. She doesn't turn invisible in the original, so it's not necessarily a fair point to give towards Chameleon.
Again, it's not that much of a stretch to expect the invisible skinned character to turn invisible, since the only reason she's not invisible is because of clothes.
But yeah, there you go. You're headcanoning something that isn't even like there in the original. That's kind of where I'm a little bit like. That's where I'm a little bit taking issue.
You are the nitpickiest nitpicker right now.
You are too, because you're asking for something that doesn't even exist in the original. It's like you're saying this is not like the original character whatsoever. Like nothing about her is correct. She doesn't turn invisible. Like, okay, when does she do that in the original? You know what I mean?
Well, no, I said she never uses any powers at all. She doesn't use her powers or turn invisible, because that would have been neat to see too.
Okay, so you're also saying
since she's invisible by default.
You're like, she never turns invisible. She never uses her.
Okay, fine. Why doesn't she? Okay, fine. I'll be as direct as possible so you can't nitpick it. At no point does she turn her skin invisible, then throw off her clothes.
Fine. Yeah. She totally would have done that in Armageddon, right? Yeah. It's like, why'd she do that?
To get an advantage.
Exactly. That's her ultimate. It's like, true invisible, and like rips off her clothes. In Armageddon.
That's her ult in League of Legends, yeah.
So I want to clarify something with you, Dawg. When you're saying all that, when you're saying it's like, oh, she doesn't use her abilities during combat and stuff like that, you're specifying the story mode, correct? Like, you're not talking about her in like gameplay in Mortal Kombat 1, right?
I like her gameplay a lot. I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think in gameplay they do a really great job adapting her. Like this whole like
I think so too.
Changing colors,
even giving her a thing she's never had before, where she covers you in like crystals.
Yeah, I think that's a great reference to the translucent body that she has in Armageddon. Also, Dawg, when after you use her ability, you know what she does? She turns invisible and fades away.
So I was right. What's this argument about then? She has that power. Why is she not doing it in story mode?
So your issue with why she's a downgrade is because she doesn't.
I
use it in the
specifically
story
said she
mode.
never uses. He's taking what I said out of context again.
Story mode,
I'm
right?
playing like Hassan Piker, but it's real this time.
I'm clarifying with you. I'm clarifying. You don't say story mode once
you're trying
in
to
your
do
video.
Gotcha,
that's why I'm clarifying with you right now.
Snake.
You're talking about story mode, right? Story mode, right? Specifically.
So I specifically say in my video, I'm pretty sure I say that, yes, I'm glad she does things in story mode. I'm glad she has speaking lines. But also, I think that's the bare minimum. She never uses her powers, like switching her abilities, which is her main thing, or turn invisible. So I'm just saying I wish she did some powers on top of just being in story mode. This could be considered separate from much of the downgrade. I just think in story mode, she does the bare minimum. That's almost like a tangent.
So just so you know, by the way, you don't say story mode. That's why I wanted to clarify with you here. Okay. So you mean because she doesn't do this stuff in the story mode?
I say it immediately after mentioning story mode. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, but the point is that whole sentence is in the story mode. Okay. Completely fair. I get it now. I see. Because she doesn't do that in the story mode, you think that's a downgrade. Because in Armageddon, in the story mode, Chameleon does. Oh, she's got to do something, or else how is it a downgrade considering she doesn't do any of that in the story mode in the Mortal Kombat 1?
There is no story mode in Armageddon.
Oh, exactly. Isn't that kind of not fair to compare then? Because isn't that kind of not fair to say as a downgrade?
Are you just ignoring what I said again?
Never
where I
even
said I'm glad she does stuff in story mode, and I'm glad she has speaking lines.
But you're not glad that she doesn't use her powers, and that's a negative. That's a downgrade compared to Armageddon. Remember, this video is about
in story mode, she could be replaced with
from
Soldier number 2, and nothing would change. It's not really story relevant. She's just a placeholder.
What is that argument?
This would be the equivalent of like if Sub-Zero showed up in a Mortal Kombat movie, but all he did was say generic lines and never even like gets mentioned by name, and then like he just does like a sword attack.
I'm talking about
leaves.
like
it's not really Sub-Zero.
Comparing MK1 version of Chameleon.
To be fair, not using powers during cutscenes is an issue with NetherRealm storytelling as a whole.
Sure,
but it's still an issue in its own vacuum.
But we're talking about comparing the two, and you're like saying. Like, oh, she doesn't do this in Mortal Kombat 1, hence it's a downgrade now. compared to that's a negative on its own if you want to complain about that. But how is that a downgrade when she doesn't even fucking appear in the story mode?
No, what
doesn't
she
even
does in
get that
story
shit.
mode isn't the downgrade. It's just me also ranting about things that could have been done better. So I think that in every way, appearance-wise, she's weaker. I think that also what she does in story mode doesn't impress me very much.
Compared to...
Again, I say it verbatim. Do I have to repeat myself again? I say it verbatim in the video that I'm glad she appears in story mode. I'm glad she has speaking lines, but also she could be replaced by a generic soldier because what she does is not chameleon related. Like,
Can I also take that sentence there too? Like, the whole could be replaced by a completely different unnamed soldier. It's like, where do we go with this argument? You could apply this to anybody, even
it's not an
characters
argument. It's just that
like,
she does the
you
bare
do
minimum.
realize that,
I don't like how
right?
she's portrayed.
Okay, but it's like,
Yeah.
you could apply this to even the original Armageddon
She was reduced
version
from
of
being
Chameleon.
someone who revives her race in Armageddon and also in Trilogy to just, I'm a soldier character who never uses my abilities
I'm
or
sorry,
anything.
what did you just say Chameleon's whole motive is in Trilogy and Armageddon?
Well, in Trilogy, in the ending, she like frees her people, right? And she contacts
uncanon
Reptile
ending,
and shares
okay,
the
sure.
truth. Yeah, and in Armageddon, she like turns the Shao Kahn into a lizard or something, right? I forget.
So what
Doesn't
you're
she, like,
saying
turn
is
into a
her whole
lizard man?
motive is that she wants to bring back her race.
Yeah, and that never gets mentioned at all, does it, in the actual story of Mortal Kombat 1?
You know, for some guy who thinks that the new version is such a downgrade compared to the original,
I do
lore that
like
we
the
have,
alternate timeline her that we see in Invasions, but also, you know, Invasions
Sure,
is
but
trash.
for somebody who's comparing, remember, you're comparing the two versions. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised you don't even know her actual motive in the original, because it's on the bio. The fucking developers made a biograph, like, talking about it. Like, after
Okay.
getting her entire race annihilated, her number one goal is not about bringing her race back. Yes, in the non-canon, like, arcade endings, that's what she does. But her number one goal is to get revenge on Shao Kahn. That's all she wants to do.
That's a lot of characters in the old games, yeah. Even the Tara, I think, has a big part about that. But yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, if you're comparing a downgrade...
That's
and
still
you
more
don't even know
character than
original
the soldier
lore,
in
you
MK1
know,
that does nothing and has no motivation.
her motivations is that she's an Umgadi now. I mean, like, she's...
It's not a motivation.
I meant, like, being an Umgadi is also, like, you know, being serving Mileena, being, like, having banter with Tanya and stuff like that. There's, like... There's some stuff with Umgadi there, but also there's, like, the more lore
has
about
banter
her
with
being a
Tanya?
Saurian in Mortal Kombat 1.
Does she have banter with Tanya? I don't
Yep,
remember even
yep, she
saying
does.
anything in that first part.
She does talk with
But-
Tanya. Yes, she is.
Must be very, very minor.
Wait,
Must be the
when?
most minor-ass minor
It is
thing.
very minor. It is very minor. She just
When
basically
what?
says, like, what do we do about this when Titan Havoc shows up? Tiny banter. It's mostly carried by
That's
the
not
sector.
banter, that's a
Banter?
question.
No, man, they talk.
That's not
They talk
banter.
in the cutscene. Sure,
That's
okay.
nothing though. That's fuck all.
Sure,
What,
okay.
What the fuck is this argument? What is
You know
the
what?
point of any of this?
mistake.
I have to edit this later, and I don't get to contribute anything. But this is the most pointless fucking conversation I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
Who
Here's
gives
what
a
we can do.
shit?
Snake.
Dog made
Oh.
a video, one of his slot videos, and oh no,
Yeah.
it wasn't that well researched. Who the fuck cares, Sonic? Oh my god. Oh, what? Why?
I think we both made good points. Sonic likes that she does stuff in story mode and likes that she talks. I like that she does that too. I just wish it was done better. And I also think that her appearance is worse. I think her origin is worse. I wish she
can
did
end it.
stuff in story mode. And also, I think we should end it with Snake saying what
Hang on,
he
hang on.
thinks. If you could only have one
Hang on,
version
dog.
of the character
You got your
Snake,
point
who do you
out. Let
want?
me get my ending point out.
Okay, sure.
Why did
sure.
I even start this whole rant? Why did I start this entire thing? The whole reason why I thought you complaining about Chameleon's new appearance being a downgrade is because she came from nothing. She literally is a character that was put there, some text and lore. Boom, we're done. Is she in the cutscenes? Is she in the story? Does she interact with any of the characters? Nope. And then she's literally crumbs in Armageddon. So to take that and then to make her an actual character, actual speaking lines, at least she has banter with Sector.
Not an
She at
actual
least
character, but she has speaking lines, yeah.
She's an actual character in
She's
the
not
story.
a character. She's soldier number
She's
3.
there. She's interacting. She's physical.
She has
You
no
can
character.
See, live it, breathe. She has a personality. She at least has this stuff. My point is, she's a meal.
Does
at
she even
least,
have a bio
whereas
in
she used to be
MK1?
crumbs. But if you don't like the meal, that's one thing. But she used to be nothing. So literally saying she comes this nothing, this absolutely nothing here, and you're saying this is a downgrade is where I'm like, are we just complaining for the sake of complaining? If you made a point about
Well, when you
complaining
keep lying about the
Darius
original Chameleon
or
and saying she's
Movado,
literally nothing, I mean, it's hard to argue from
you
that.
don't
when
even
you're just
remember her
lying.
original lore. That you have to go to the MKArmageddon.com
I was going off Armageddon,
website.
but-
That you had to go
Well, it
use
does
a
say
way
she
back
reached
to
out to
look up, by
Reptile
the
and
way.
blah, blah. Okay. So because I was wrong about one thing, suddenly Chameleon's not a character. Got it. She suddenly has
My
no
point
history at all.
is, she really comes from nothing, and like that's why I'm
No,
saying, okay, they
you keep
gave her
saying
something.
that, but it's not true.
She barely comes from something. Are you happy with that sentence?
Look.
It's the most straw man argument I've ever heard.
I
never
see
said
where
these
both
things.
of you. I see where both of you are coming from. I understand where both of your arguments come from. You're both wrong. Shut the fuck up.
There you go. Thank you.
My opinion's out there. I'm happy.
I wanted to say though, I wanted to ask Snake just for fun because this could be the tiebreaker, and I'll accept whichever one he says. I'll accept either one. If you could only have one version of the character Snake, do you like the Armageddon / trilogy version of Chameleon? And probably Armageddon because trilogy was barely there, but she still had a story, I guess, at least very bare minimum. Or do you like the MK1 version where she's Umgadi and stuff?
Well, I would probably go with one, just because there is more there. She has a particular place in the universe. Because the original one, she was never part of the story, really. Remember, original Armageddon, she wasn't even in that release. It was only in the Wii version.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
she had no place in the setting other than sometimes being a romance option for Reptile, really.
As a headcanon, but yeah.
Which I think is why Sonic hates that version so much, because he's jealous.
This all makes sense now.
You know
It
what?
all makes sense.
Hang on, Dawg. I'm gonna give you this, by the way. You can win this argument so easily. I'm very surprised you didn't go for it. If you want to just say the Midway version is better, you could have just said this, Dawg. You could have just said that she's hotter. Done. Easy. She's
It
hotter.
just seems kind of like a shallow thing to say,
We're done.
but I mean,
Easy. It's so
Anyway.
easy. We're done. We don't need to discuss it anymore. She's hotter than Armageddon.
Right, look. So, yeah, I'll because she has a bit more going on in one, I prefer that version a bit. In terms of design, absolute downgrade. The Armageddon version is still peak design. It's such a distinct design. I get why they changed it.
I agree.
I'm sure their plan is to, or at least they're considering, making her part of the full roster in the future. And that would be really awkward to be like, oh, well, she has to uninvisible so that she can be ripped apart. Whereas if she just has white skin, it's much easier to code in. Because, they're always taking shortcuts for the sake of fatalities.
yeah. Well, she gets all tuckered out, and so her skin goes normal. It's like when you kill a squid, and it goes from whatever cute color it is to just white.
True.
Yeah, I mean they could do that, but I guess they figured it would be weird. I mean, there are other times when they've...
Yeah.
I mean, if they'd put in Deception, Smoky Body Smoke as a skin in any of the games since, people would love it. But I guess they figure it would have to revert to human and look weird, or it would just be being torn apart, so they just don't do that.
I wonder how good that competitively would be, though, the smoky body. Would that be distracting?
I don't think so.
I guess you could do it, yeah.
I mean, as long as he's visible and there's no lighting conditions where you can't see what he's doing. I mean, that could be another reason. Maybe they want, in the name of clarity, they made Chameleon white.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I could see
there's reason, some justifiable, some dumb, that any of which
how
could be
dare-
the reason why they did it. But yeah, so I prefer story-wise what she has going on now, because there is a bit more there. I think the old design is better, but I understand why they might have changed it. It's a lot.
Exactly.
Just look at how sexy she is, though. What do you mean, Sonic? Come on. Look how hot. Look how sexy.
Is that AI? It's freaking different.
It must
It's the first
be.
one
At
AI.
least
I'm pretty sure the first one is AI. I
It is
will
funny
say
how many mods there are for her, despite just being a fucking cameo.
I will say like yeah.
To
I
be
mean
clear, I'm not putting these pictures in the video.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you, Snake.
So just some pictures of just some CG pictures of us looking sexy. One of which is probably AI. I'm not putting them in. This is someone else's work, or it's AI slop, or whatever. Many reasons to not include it. I'm not including it. Also, this episode is 3 hours long, and I have to edit it. So
Look,
let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, can I just say this? So first off, thank you for the discussion, Dawg, and I would like to apologize to Snake. I think this whole entire hour he's been kind of miserable just listening to me and Dawg constantly bickering like an old couple. Unfortunately,
And also we structured it right after the well, no, you had the Spider-Man part in between at least, so you had a little.
we did get a little bit of that.
Yeah, that we had to rush because we didn't want to keep you waiting.
I didn't
So
say you had
what-
to rush it at all.
What I'm
I know,
trying
I'm
to
just-
say, what I'm trying to say is to make it up for you, Snake. Would you like to do a Q&A question to end this off?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I did have a bit planned where I would I don't remember specifically. I was gonna have a bit where it's like, oh, we're not doing Q&A. Fuck it. I have to edit it. I had some bit planned, fell through. There's just fucking.
Yeah, I mean, you like your Q&As, right? So I feel like I'm going to give you a pretty good question,
please,
too.
Question asker. Please salvage this fucking episode. This is atrocious, please.
And by the way, like, we are running out of questions. I don't know if this is, like, the last question. Shit, did I hope I didn't ask this question. No, I don't think I did. I think this is a pretty good
Mortal
question. Mortal
Kombat race tier list win?
No,
Sorry,
no.
That's always the end-all be-all. That's always the Hail Mary.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so this question comes from hashbrown1682. And a very simple question. If you had to redo one aspect of MK9, 10, 11, or M1K, what would it be?
If we had to redo or got to, I guess is a better way to phrase it.
I mean, for the question's sake, we got to redo it, yeah.
The involvement from Warner Bros.
Aye. That's a whole... Should we make this more fun and talk about it for each game, by the way? Like, just like... Because this is but I kind of want to do it for each game. Does it make any sense?
You could do it either way. I mean, if we're going to try and do like the whole series, then I would say either the introduction of time travel, because there's been nothing but negative from the introduction of that, or the story mode structure that they have just refused to move on from. Because it's been nothing but a detriment. And I feel like Kuai Liang is actually the character who suffers the most from it. Like, you look at MK11 especially, it's like... All of the characters that are relevant to him are introduced in his chapter early on, and so he can't deal with them permanently because they have to come back and be fought again.
True.
It's so fucked.
Actually, Snake, question. Are you able to just completely not play Kuai Liang in story mode because you played Hanzo throughout the entire thing? Like, when you select him? Kuai Liang doesn't have a mandatory, like, story mode chapter, right?
No, he doesn't.
You can
play
skip
the whole
him.
thing with... Yeah, you can play the whole thing and never play as Kuai Liang.
That's kind of funny to think of it.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like
optional.
The first two chapters like that are the Shaolin monks and Fire and Ice, and you look at it and you think, oh, wait, in both cases one of those characters had a dedicated chapter later. So like I said in, I think it was the Biggest Losers video, like were they supposed to be Kung Lao and Sub-Zero specific chapters, and then they just added the other characters because them pairing up would be cool?
Indeed. I still think, actually, retroactively, NRS's story mode, they kind of fucked themselves over because of the shock value of the Sindel Massacre. That Sindel Massacre was such a shock value, and then they had to retroactively fix that by revenants, reviving, time travel. We're sorry. Just revert the entire universe. I really do think that Sindel Massacre fucked them over so heavily.
Funny enough, they brought it back in MK1. That's the flabbergasting part. Like, they brought back that scene. She didn't kill everyone, but they still brought it back. It was weird.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that like half the good guys died there. Actually, maybe more than half when they were set.
And that's such a flabbergasting decision because it's such a flabbergasting decision too because there's a big final fight already happening with the Lin Kuei. So several of those characters could have just died before Sindel showed up, and it would have been way less ridiculous, or at least imply how like disgustingly tired they are when Sindel shows up. So it's a bit more.
Yeah.
There's so many ways they could have salvaged it, but they just didn't. They had all the good guys live, and it's baffling.
It also just feels like they retroactively have to keep fixing themselves. It's like, oh, we're going to go in a new direction. These characters who died, they're still dead. We'll bring back some. But, new characters, new plot, and okay, shit, this game didn't sell good. Whatever, time travel, fuck it, Liu Kang's back, Kung Lao's back, fuck it, they're back. It just feels like that. Like it just feels like they didn't make that decision very clearly, except for shock value. Done. That's it. And I do feel like retroactively, this fucked them over pretty heavily.
True.
Yeah. So that's a good answer, I would say. If we wanted to do individual games, that's... Well, I'd say MK9, it's the fact that they did the reboot thing. It would have been better, I think, to... Yeah. Is either reboot it without the time travel and just start fresh, maybe like new versions of the existing stories, but just like a new continuity outright.
Yeah.
Or to just continue on from where they were and maybe just re-release those games in like a HD collection or something.
It would have also been cool, I think, if MK1, instead of being Liu Kang's era, that all happens off screen. And instead, it's like revealed at the start by Shang Tsung, where he's like, but in my reality, like I won the fight, and in my reality, the era keeps going. And that way, it's a continuation of MK11, but it's just a dark timeline where Shang Tsung is the ruler. And we have like this ragtag team of heroes. Because in this universe, it's already been shown that Raiden and Fujin are bad. So it would be interesting. Plus, the last realm they haven't conquered is Chaos Realm, which meant that could have been the setting. Or like one of the main settings. And that would have been super dope if like all the heroes fled to Chaos Realm that are still alive. This is all like way more interesting. It doesn't shit on the first 3 games that built up to this. It's just a different reality. And then if that does well, then you could have the next game be a tie-in where Liu Kang discovers the evil realm. Because I feel like realistically, Shang Tsung wouldn't even try to fight Liu Kang anymore. If he learned there was a realm that Liu Kang exists, then he'd be like, okay, I'm going to try and devote as little time as possible to make sure, I'm going to devote some time to making sure he never learns that more realms exist, but outside of that, I'm going to leave him alone. Because I've won. In this world, I've won. So that feels more in character to me.
Smart for writing, because, like, it's the generic, like, oh, you still exist out there, so I have to kill you. Like, that's kind of how it went. Actually, I'm kind of same with Dawg, but kind of because this is what, back then, I remember hearing this a lot about Mortal Kombat 1. It's like, I loved it until the twist. So it's like, could we have not had that twist? Could we have just committed to Liu Kang timeline story and just be on Liu Kang's timeline? Like, okay, we are actually trying this, and just don't go multiverse, don't go like big bada bing pyramid ending and stuff like that. Or
bing,
if
bada
you
bing.
want to do the twist, end it with it. Be like, Shang Tsung shows up, that's the ending. So now the next game, you can have the whole multiverse plot. You can have that for an entire story. But it's just like, what's the phrase? Blue Lair load too fast? You know that phrase?
What load too fast?
Blue Lair load too fast? Is there a saying for that?
What the fuck is Lula?
What? Blue Lair load too fast? Isn't there like a saying for this?
Lula?
No, blue their load.
Blue their load.
Yeah, blue their load too fast.
Am I pronouncing that?
You were slurring like crazy.
Oh, you know what? I'm excited to see
You're
how
combining
that
it all
sounds on the
together.
recording.
So basically, that is an expression. My favorite example being talking about Dragon Ball Z and how he's like, they went to space.
Yeah.
Space. They could have had infinite seasons from this if they wanted to, because space is like so big. But what do? They have him bump into Frieza almost immediately, who is quote unquote the strongest being in space. They blew their load on the first jerk. It's like there was no reason to do this.
There we go. That's the saying I was looking for.
They did the same thing again when they opened the multiverse. Like, oh, here's these other
That's what he says too. Yeah, he says the same thing. He goes, "Oh my God, infinite realities." But no, these are the top 10 strongest or whatever realities. He's like, why? Why?
How silly. So yeah, those are some good ones for 9 and 1. I would say for X, I say they shouldn't have done the new generation. I think they should have wrapped up the Revenant plot and done the new generation after that. So then they could have had new generation characters associated with the dead characters like Liu Kang and Kung Lao and Kitana and whatnot. So they could have had kids. And also would have meant that for people who come into the franchise from 9, there's a bit more of a baseline for what MK is before we get into the new generation. Like, just upend it straight away. You know,
question.
you don't.
So, are you saying you would like Mortal Kombat X to be more about wrapping up the Revenant plot, or be more like half Revenant plot, then half 20 years later, or just like the 20 years later for the next game?
No. There would not be enough time to do adequate stories that way.
I see.
They absolutely, I think, should have just done just the Revenant stuff, focus on wrapping that up, and then we do the MKX stuff, and that can maybe draw on like the 3D era a bit for like Onaga and stuff like that. But here's just MK4 reimagined with this Revenant stuff, and then once that's out of the way, then we can just move on to the new generation with MK11. Yeah.
Okay, I can definitely see that. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Here's the thing. I can't think of too many things that like MKX does. Because the funny thing is, especially as time goes on, MKX becomes a lot more. I appreciate it a lot more, specifically because of how much more reserved it is compared to the other games. Like, even if the story mode isn't like amazing, it is at least its own little thing. It's just like, oh, there's a threat. They handled it. Is it time travel related? Multiverse related? Is it? No, it's just Shinnok, and they handle it. So it's like, oh, cool.
They do that thing where there's like an unpopular thing that's introduced in an entry. Then the next one, it's like, well, we have to acknowledge it, but we're not going to do anything with it. It's almost like in the movie with like, oh, we'll say superpowers as a reference to Arcana. The Arcanas are still a thing technically, but we're not going to dwell on it because they're like more visions reading. Do you still see the future? It's like, oh no, I don't see those visions anymore. And that's what, and then this is the one
Smart.
game out of the 4 to not have time travel components to it at all.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, yeah, I see why this is clearly the best one out of the 4 stories.
Oh, didn't think about that. Maybe someday I'll have to really think about that. If this is the best one, because it might be if you really think about it. Like, out of the 4 at least.
Yeah, I mean, not just conceptually, whereas like the other ones like doing this weird time travel stuff. Like, I mean, in Concept MK9 was okay, it's just the execution was the problem. But they've all got stuff that is horrendously executed, unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh.
But I guess MKX is the least egregious.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it, there are some funny moments still in that one though. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then MK11, I mean, there's a ton just being like,
yeah.
is
I mean,
time
that's what
travel
we're gonna
really
say.
I made a whole video about
conceptually.
it with Chronica and the new story and everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I made a
like-
2-hour video about it.
Like, I mean, we can all say, yeah. Well, just like with MKX, they should have made it. That's the wrapping up of the Revenant plot. Then you can do your weird time travel shit afterwards. For now,
Yeah.
let's just wrap up this shit.
I think we were all a little bit flabbergasted when Mortal Kombat X ended and the Revenants were still a thing. I think we're all a little bit flabbergasted by that.
Yeah.
Especially since the human versions are in the game. So you kind of assume that's going to be after story mode. And it's like, no, it's just a fun what if scenario. Like, how would Liu Kang look if he was old and had gray hair? And here he is.
Yeah, I really wish we got to see that. But at the same time, Emperor
That's my
and
favorite version of Liu
Empress-
Kang, where he's a human but still a bit of a dick because he's just tired of it all. That's my favorite version of Liu Kang.
Yeah, I brought that up in my video. I think it was the Raiden Sucks MK9 video, where I'm just like, how cool would it have been if we seen this version of Liu Kang get revived and turn old? Remember the events of MK9? Like, how would he be? He's still a hero, but he will have like a begrudging side to him for what Raiden did. It's like, you won, but I'm gonna still hate you for it and whatnot. Like that. That sounds so cool. I wanted to see that.
Yeah.
And of course, a more mature Kung Lao too. I think that's a cool thing to see.
Sassy Katana. Sassy
yes.
Katana. Oh, that's like, I don't consider you my enemy.
I don't consider you at all.
It's like, Katana, like the match isn't over yet. You can't just kill him like that.
You're starting to get on my nerves, Katana. You should lie down. It's like, there's a lot. There's a couple of pretty good ones with her in the intro dialogues.
Yeah, I mentioned when the intros were like just the characters just being assholes to each other to justify the fights, as opposed to like, I appreciate the lore tidbits, but I feel like there's better ways you could do that. Just it is a character fact file. As you do the mastery, you get more little lore tidbits like, oh, Raiden has a sister. Here's some stuff about her that you get for reaching level 15, something like that. As opposed to, hey, Raiden, bring your sister around next time. I will now cut you in half.
Die. Be gone.
This is just a practice match, right? Jackie says to Takeda says to Jackie as Jackie brutally murders him.
Peace
That's the funny one, yeah. Pretty fun question. Thank you very much, HashBrown1682. This is one of the last Q&A questions we've got, by the way. I kind of was like, oh, I broke open the emergency like little bag here, being like, okay, we can use this for the video because it's a fun topic.
Where can people go if they want to send some Q&A questions in, Sonic?
Well, you can go to our community tab to put a question down there. However, I think it's time for me to make a new one just to add some new questions there. Probably after I come back from Japan though, because like I literally don't have any more time to